And we're live. Well, good morning.
Where does that music come from?
It's from Epidemic Sound.
Okay.
Yeah, I just,
You should make something.
I should make something.
You
but
absolutely should. It'd be an original.
I'm lazy.
No.
And I like this.
Okay. Well, don't call yourself lazy. I think you have some of the best work ethic out of all the tubers.
Well,
I sincerely mean that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I have been planning on doing music for the channel. I've been planning on doing music for the podcast, just like interstitial kind of instrumental stuff. Doing music for the channel. Just haven't got there yet. I hear myself. Hey, it's the end of the year as we know it, and I feel fine. Right? Isn't that what it is?
I feel good. I feel good.
End of the decade. End of everything. The end of everything, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the end of everything. It's the end of the decade, though. I mean, it's been a very interesting decade for tech and a lot of things as usual. There's I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure that the news channels will all have like their end of the year top this, top that, and everything like that. And we've already seen that from many of our tech friends as well. Like, top picks for tech this year and everything like that. For myself personally, someone asked me this in my other stream. My top year for tech would be 2017.
Top year for tech would be 2017.
Yeah, because I formed my YouTube channel and my decision to do this kind of stuff in 2016 in September, and then I published my first video in January of 2017. So for me, that's when I kind of like hyper elevated like everything to do with tech with myself.
I get it now. I understand. Yeah, I don't even know what my best tech would be for what my best tech. I mean, I guess last year because the channel did so well.
By the way, Jason, this is sparkling apple juice with pear in it.
And in a Playboy.
Yeah, I had two of these, and then my son broke one by accident, and they're like little I can't find them again. They're perfect for the Flossie Carter pinky hold.
I see. Yes. Alex is here. He said he wasn't going to be here, but he's here. He's here tonight. What are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about end of year stuff. We could talk about end of decade stuff. There's so many things that we could talk about. We could talk about the Samsung Galaxy S20.
You're jumping from 11. Wait, what? From 10 to 20?
That's what they say.
Man. Oh, you know who's not here?
No,
because he's out with the girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Viper's not here.
Viper's not here because everybody's
pour one out for Viper.
I'm not pouring. This is really good stuff right here. I'll drink the Viper, but
yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a drink. I forgot to get a drink for myself. But maybe I'll go get some tap water here in a little bit. But yeah, so man, it's the end of the year tonight. When you don't drink anymore and you have no friends, it it really doesn't make a difference what day it is.
Yeah, for me, like when we're done here tonight, I'm gonna go upstairs and my wife and we're gonna watch a movie. I got the quacks.
All right, I'm not gonna go crazy with the quacks.
Okay, Alex 499, let the holiday quacks begin. We're gonna watch a really bad movie. It's a really bad B movie. I watched it when I was a kid. I remember I used to watch it because there's all sorts of the women parts in it. It's called Hard Ticket to Hawaii. You've seen this. I know you've seen
this.
I
have not seen that.
No, you've never seen Hard Ticket to Hawaii?
No, it sounds like a softcore porn movie.
It pretty much is. Okay, but there's just a lot of boobs, right? But anyway, it's so bad. I don't even know what it's about, but there's a scene where a guy's like upside down, like skateboarding on a skateboard, and he gets blown up by a bazooka.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a scene later on where a guy kills another guy with a frisbee that has razor blades on it. It's so bad. It's so bad it makes you laugh. Hard Ticket to Hawaii. that's what we're watching tonight, and then we're probably gonna go to bed at like 10 o'clock. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm gonna play some Battlefield. My buddy Curtis is back from his parents where he had no access to video games, and so I'll probably do that. But I tell you what, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning.
I was gonna say, I saw your tweet. I'm like, what are you
just
doing?
awake? I was just awake, and I wanted to be asleep, but I have my alarm set to go off at 6.
Yeah.
So when the alarm went off at 6, I was like, oh, I could get up and like do stuff.
Podcast is right.
Podcast is coming in just at the right time for the language. Yes.
I can't tag him, which was really weird. I couldn't tag him there. But anyway.
Yeah, so oh, excuse me. I just had a huge dinner. I'm sorry, people. I went out to the Texas Roadhouse. And this is how much I'm living the life. Texas Roadhouse, big old 16-ounce steak.
Oh, that sounds good, man. 16 ounces?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I just went out for steak a few days ago. We got a gift certificate for the Cattle Baron, place up here called Cattle Baron. And I had a 7-ounce, and it was like the size of a deck of cards. It was like that's what they say the perfect portion is, like a size of a deck of cards.
I ate like 4 decks of cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's huge, dude. 16 ounces.
And I had some French fries with, well, they were supposed to have cheese and bacon, but they forgot the bacon. It was just cheese. And then I had a salad and some bread and some peanuts, and I had some cheesecake.
Dude. So everybody, I just linked in the chat there. That is the link to the podcast. Now, when you go there, you're going to see it's under the name Painfully Honest Tech Podcast. But the publisher is Jason T. Lewis, not FBT Labs.
That's right.
And there's only 2 episodes on there. Tonight will be episode number 3.
Tonight will be episode number 3. And yes. I remembered to hit the record button and everything.
Yes. Awesome. We got the music.
Yeah. So yeah. And Genosis, I appreciate Genosis dropping something in the chat here. Like, if you guys have a Twitch account or anything like that, and I'm trying to get to affiliate status on Twitch. Basically, I need to like stream for 7 days in a 30-day period, and I need to have an average of 3 viewers per hour or something like that. I don't know. And it just kind of like keeps going up and down. Like I almost get there and then I go back to so
you know where I'm at is I've hit everything. I've hit all the things except I need an average of 3 viewers. And the other day, for my coffee with Zach thing I'm doing weekly on Sundays, I had like 6 people in there, but because all my other streams have been like low numbers, right, it only counted like 2.1 out of 3. So whatever, I'll get that.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Although, like once you get to affiliate status, that means you can like do you can do monetization type stuff. I don't know.
And here's something, I don't know if you knew this. I found this out the other day from our friend Jeff. Apparently, once you and I hit affiliate over there, this whole dual broadcast thing that you're doing right now, can't do that anymore with Twitch.
Well,
yeah.
So fancy.
So you can only do Twitch if you want to keep your affiliate stuff. You want to keep I think if you want to keep the monetization, you can't do that. I think you still can do the dual thing, but you can't have the monetization. So in other words, you can't have the affiliate stuff. So just something to think about, something to look into just to verify. But I'm pretty sure that Jeff's accurate with that information.
Yeah, that's I don't doubt it. And Alex, I know Twitch. It's different. It's a different place. It has a different kind of vibe to it. I get it. The thing that I'm worried about is is YouTube not dying, or some terrible disaster happening and I have to go someplace else. I might as well like be building it before that happens. So
exactly.
That's why. And I want to do like the morning show over there. I want to do some different kinds of stuff.
That's good. That's great. Like I've been doing this thing every couple of weeks where I review or I read through the Wikipedia of like a Pearl Jam album. So I did Vitalogy a few weeks ago, and then I recently did 10. And I just went through paragraph by paragraph, and then I played some music from it and everything. Kind of played DJ. That was fun. You don't like Pearl Jam, do you?
I like Pearl Jam. Okay.
Yeah. You like Pearl Jam.
I like.
So I've been doing that, and I also have been doing some live unboxings over there. So things that wouldn't necessarily pertain to this channel, like where I unboxed the record player.
Oh yeah.
Right. So that was fun. So I'm gonna be doing stuff like that. It'll still be tech related, but on a broader scale and everything. But anyway. Happy New Year. Almost.
Same to you. It's New. Well, it was New Year's in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw on Twitter that it's New Year's in England.
Yeah. Rio de Janeiro is coming up here in a few hours.
Yeah, I mean, you know what though?
Mm.
Just another day. Just another day.
Yeah.
Craig, thank you.
That's a song by John Cicada.
Yeah,
Remember? Just another day.
We have the announcements. Okay, so you got the one of the announcements. The podcast is now available in audio form over on the Apple Podcasts, and if it's not at the other places already, eventually other places as well. It takes a while for the thing to like seed out and go to all the different places, but it's the new one is published by me. The old one is published by FPT Labs. That one I'm hoping, trying really hard to get that one to go away.
Hey, if you guys want to do us a favor, tweet at John Prosser.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, John's been busy.
No, it's all good. But yeah, so we got that now, so you can subscribe to that on your favorite podcast purveyor, your whatever it is, your Overcast, your Stitcher, your whatever you like, whatever
Google Podcast, Google Play. There's Spotify, obviously the big one for us and for most people, because most people have iPhones. Well, it seems like Apple Podcasts. And again, I could drop the link there. So if you guys do search for it on your favorite thing, do search for Painfully Honest Tech Podcast. It's all separate words, and then look for one that's published by Jason T. Lewis. That's right. The proper one. Currently, there are only 2 on there. If you're listening to this right now, this is actually the 3rd one.
Yes, you're listening to the 3rd one right now. For those of you who are here live, you are experiencing.
Yeah. So we go live on Tuesdays, and then we publish on Thursdays. And by the way, Jason, I didn't realize how sexy I sound. Now that I have these new headphones that you recommended, Santa Claus brought me these headphones. You suggested these are the Audio Technica MH-AT30s. Is that it?
The AT30s. Or
so the cord is extremely long. Yes, they are plug-in. It came with the 1/4-inch plug-in.
Yeah.
The quality, and like I've worn these for hours. I've been using these for monitoring, like editing. I don't normally do that. I normally just use my speakers, but these are so comfortable. The bass is great. I'm hearing mids and highs that I would not normally, like I know are there, but I haven't heard for a while with these. And these were like what, $60-$70? Thank you, Santa Claus. But I mean, these are awesome, dude. Thank you for the recommendation.
They are really good. Yeah, the M50s are like the one that everybody loves, but the 30s and the 40s are really great.
These are really great. And they came with a great pouch.
Yeah. So
somewhere.
Thank you for the super chat and the little sticker, Alex. It is cool.
I can't find it.
Yeah, podcast digits. There are wheels within wheels that have to happen. Wheels within wheels that have to happen to make that happen. But it will happen eventually. So, did you know that we have a sponsor?
I know we have in the past. Who is it today?
Our sponsor, as always, is Audible. You're the finest purveyor of audiobooks in the world, and Audible is just awesome. If you go to audibletrial.com/painfullyhonesttech, then you can get 1 free audiobook and 2 free Audible originals.
I used your link and I got the Primal branding, and then I recently used the credit from that to get another motivational kind of like life-changing type book kind of thing. So this is my first experience in the whole audiobook thing. Man, I love it.
I tell you what,
you take a shower, put that on, boom.
Yeah, I tell you what, I probably get through about maybe 8 to 10 audiobooks a year. And it's a good way to supplement. I got to get back to the reading. I just recently found on YouTube these reading channel, like these mostly women who have channels about reading books, and they do like reviews of books, and in their Patreon they have like group read things and all that. This one young lady today, she was like, well, here are my books for January. And she had like 8 books. And I was just like, I mean, I've written novels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could ever read 8 books in a month. I don't know how that's possible.
How do you find the time? Like,
Well,
were they
that
big
was,
books? They must have been big books.
yeah, some of them were like science fiction, fantasy, mystery,
Wow.
nonfiction, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, this is insane. I would never want to have a YouTube channel centered around reading. Although I would like to have a reading group in the membership group, or I still haven't figured out if memberships are catching on, or if I need to go back to Patreon or what, because now it's like both of them are just kind of like meh.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing so I have some very loyal Patreons. And I've done a few things here and there, not as much as I want to, but I'm doing to the level of the members that I have right now. So right. No one's done that I think it's a $5 level. And with that, they get their name on the screen at the end of the video. Patreon's kind of like a Patreon list. And some people like to have that. So I could publish their name, their Twitter, or their Instagram, whatever they want to do. I'll put the logo next to it. But nobody's done that. But the only people I have are who want to do like a $1 or $3 Patreon. And for that, I'm thankful for that. And that money does go directly to the channel. Like every month when I get that money, I put it into a specific bank account, and then that money is used towards, might be for upgrading gear or whatever, anything like that. But no one's ever done those higher levels. So in terms of my Patreon, I'm happy with the way it's performing and everything, because people are getting what they're paying for.
Yeah.
For the membership stuff, I think the membership stuff is kind of the same thing, Jason. Is like, as long as you're giving people what they've asked, what they're supposed to be getting, should be growing, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like trying to get people the things that that's the hardest thing, is to figure out levels that you can deliver at small numbers. Like stuff like that. So the live podcast replays are available if you have if you're on the Patreon or on the other thing, on the memberships. And I'm going to do more stuff like that. And so I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, but a reading group would be fun. I would love to do a reading group with folks. That would be cool. It would keep me honest. Because I don't read enough. But the reason I started talking about this, I got off track. The reason I started talking about this, I was reminded by the Audible plug. Right now I'm listening to a Star Wars book. What is it? Heir to the Throne. Heir to the Throne. It's the first of, I guess it's non-canonical Legends stuff now. Like it's not considered part of the whole deal.
Yeah, they took everything that everybody had written. So when Disney bought Lucas, or bought Star Wars, basically, everything that was written, like all the fan stuff, like not just the fan stuff, but actual novels that were actually endorsed by Lucas or anything like that, everything became what they call legends. So they're not part of the canon, but Disney has been slowly taking elements from legends and putting it into movies and into everything like that. So that's not to say it'll always stay legend. It may be, retrofitted later on.
Well, yeah, but I'm listening to it on the audiobook, and I tell you what, it says that there's one guy doing all the voices, but they had like sound effects and and all this other stuff, and he can do like all of like Luke's voice and Leia's voice and Chewie's voice and Han Solo's voice. The only one he almost gets the Han Solo voice. He doesn't quite get it. But it's really interesting. It starts 5 years after the it starts 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
Okay, Mandalorian I think takes place 30 years after.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And today I was just doing a live stream with Travis on the old Amazon, and Travis found that in May, the middle of May, there's finally going to be a Funko Pop Baby Yoda.
I'm getting that.
But May. It's more than 5 months away.
You know what? They're probably going to time it with the second season. Well, because there's a lot of people. Sorry, go ahead.
I just heard that they are shooting for fall. So
Okay.
I guess like, well, May's right, the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. But
I think Disney's very happy with the subscription numbers, but I know for a fact on my end, there's a lot of friends and family that are just like, why would I get that when I have all the movies on DVD or this and that? And I'm trying to explain to them, well, first of all, one, it's like more than that. And two, you should watch the video from iJustine. Yes, it was a paid thing that she did with Disney, but she went basically over like what's involved, the whole Disney Plus thing. Like you get the entire back catalog, and then there's the original series. And then, some of the best stuff that's on there is the National Geographic stuff. My kids have been loving that.
yeah, so. National Geographic, that used to be something that you used for other stuff too. The magazines. Oh boy, showing my age.
You too, huh? Yeah.
Greg, thank you for the membership support. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else you guys can also support, Jason?
Oh yeah, check it out. Wait, mine's upside down. I got this merch. I've been really proud of the merch. And
here it is my dummy iPhone phone. I don't know why I bought this dummy iPhone, but I did. It's just
because I don't know.
Reasons. It's a good case though. It's a nice case though. I'm not going to take it to see.
I just got the case for the iPhone 11 Plus Pro 11 Pro. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is like I'm not always a big fan of like the hard silicone cases, but this one feels good.
Yeah. I like how there's like it's a matte finish with your logo and everything.
It gives it a little bit of grip. It hasn't started to wear off or anything that I can notice.
Here's something daunting. Check this out. So here's the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Here's the iPhone 5. Like, look at that.
That's not, that's one of the things this year, marking the end of the decade. I don't care what anybody says. It's the end of the decade. The 0 year starts the decade. The 9 year ends the decade. That's just the way it works. The iPhone 4 came out. Like,
was it smaller or bigger than this?
It was the same. It was the same.
Yeah.
But it was the first that had that form factor.
It feels like a chiclet.
All the iconic years, of the iPhone have been in the 20 teens.
Yeah. I'd be down for an iPhone that has kind of curves and kind of squared off ish type edges like this. Wouldn't you?
Well, here's what I think is going to happen. This is my thought.
This is your thought
for what's going to happen with the iPhone this year. They're going to sort of slide toward the iPad Pro design. With the squared off edges. They're not going to go to an aluminum back, of course.
Here's the iPad Pro. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're going to square off the edges. I think it's going to be more slab like, and it'll be good. It'll be nice.
I mean, do you think it'll have wireless charging? I mean, can you imagine putting that on a wireless charger? That's kind of huge.
It's not going to be that big.
Oh, well, this is 11.9 or whatever the size is, right? This isn't the 13. This is the 11.9.
No, the iPhones are going to have that. Some type of that design.
Okay.
Yeah, but Genosis is right. Nobody has topped the iPhone 4 design. The iPhone 4 design, I think when people go back and look at the ancient history, they're gonna say, like, what were these smartphones that everybody carried around with them, like before they had computers embedded in their skulls, and or like some sort of neural network. And they're going to show the iPhone 4. They're going to show the iPhone 4, and I mean, there's so again, it's one of those things where the iPhone 4 design is a beautiful design of a thing. It's not just a great looking smartphone. It's a beautiful design of a thing. Like it's one of those iconic designs, like the original iMacs are iconic in that they don't look dated.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you look at a a Snow White iMac from 2009, yes, it looks like an old iMac, but it like the design itself doesn't look like a beige box that you would have had from a PC at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So Apple had those years, those design years, and people have been talking about whether or not Apple. Well, we had the Viper rant about the Walt Mossberg. Apple's not the same.
Yeah.
I will say that while the iPhone 10 design was different enough and sort of moved forward in a way that nobody had done before, people are going to argue with me. However, I'm not going to talk about the notch, but the iPhone was the first phone, or at least like I think maybe Motorola was the first, but who cares? That had like the no bezel, no button.
Yep.
And everybody likes to talk about how Apple steals stuff from Android all the time. Well, it didn't take Android long to steal the gesture navigation from.
No, I mean Google put it in their programming there. So if you came out with a phone in 2019, here's your gestures if you want to, and here's room for a cutout. No, if you want to.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that the Apple product of the 2010s that means the most. I can't remember. Did iPad 1 come out in 2009? If the iPad was in the 2010s, then that's the most important thing that they did. But if not, the Apple Watch, I think, will go down in history as being the most important product that Apple put out in this decade.
I know it has for me, and I'm not exaggerating. You know my story. I think pretty much everybody knows my story, but it's been a big help this year. It's a great assistant for weight loss and for getting fit and everything. And I've always said this, and I'll say it again: you do not need a piece of technology to get fit or be healthy. The only thing you need is a scale.
Yeah. But I think people find different ways to different ways to butter the same bread.
Yeah. I mean, if this is gonna motivate you,
right,
then go get one. But don't use it as an excuse of, oh, I can't get healthy because I don't have an Apple Watch. That's BS. Because I've actually seen that excuse from people on Twitter. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I mean, Greg of Greg's Gadgets did a great video. He closed his rings every day for like a long time. I forget,
like 2 months or something like that.
Yeah. And he went from like walking and then he got to running and he just sort of really, he did a great video about it. He really sort of took it from A to B and it was really interesting. And then he lost a considerable amount of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. Okay, so Khalil says that the iPad was 2010. So the iPad has to be the Apple product of the decade. But I think the product that will matter more in the future will be the Apple Watch, because I think that the phone and the watch are going to like
merge
somehow. It won't be a watch, it won't be a phone, but it will be something like the two of them.
I think wearables, the way that Apple does wearables, is definitely the future. In terms of mobile technology, like what we see right now. I like the way that Apple does it now. It's more than just for people that have never experienced an Apple Watch, they may say, oh, it's just notifications and everything. Yes, there are notifications, but I did almost everything I wanted to do today on my iPhone through my watch. So Jeff from El Jefe Reviews messaged me saying, hey, can you call LeBaron about your package, about the popcorn being sent to you for Las Vegas for CES, to which I basically tapped the thing and said, okay, because that's one of the automated responses in there.
Right.
His phone number was on there. So I was able to tap that, but as I was tapping it,
where's my popcorn? Where's my popcorn?
Well, he's sending it to where I'm staying, so I'll get you some. I'll pass it on. But then I was able to tap the thing and call LeBaron. But actually, he was already calling me. Now my phone was down here. It was actually right here on this in the studio, and I was upstairs. So this is a bungalow, and on the other side of the house. And I was still able to take the phone call with this. And I actually asked LeBaron, "How do I sound?" He goes, "Oh, you sound fine. Why?" And I said, "I'm actually talking to you on my watch."
Yeah.
And I was that far away with Bluetooth.
I've had a conversation on my Apple Watch where like I'm not doing this. I'm not putting it up to my mouth and talking. I'm just like walking around, you know, gesticulating as I normally would.
I was walking like this. I was like, "Hey man," you know.
And nobody's really noticed. So I think the Apple Watch is going to be the thing that we'll see the most of in the products that come in the next decade for Apple. I just saw something that is really disturbing me right now.
What's that?
They just announced the keynote speaker for CES.
Oh,
yes, they did.
Who and where and who is it?
It is Ivanka Trump.
What?
It is Ivanka Trump.
No.
Unless this is some sort of like.
Let me go to CES.tech. I'm going to go CES.tech.
This is on The Guardian. I'm looking at The Guardian right now. I will share my.
It is her. It's on. She's on the front page. Yeah, I'll share my screen if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the CES website.
Yeah, it's just disturbing.
This is the CES website. So
yeah,
so just to show everybody, I'll scroll back up here.
The Guardian article.
Oh, that's your screen. Okay.
The Guardian article has this quote: "What an insult! CES names Ivanka Trump as keynote speaker." Now, I mean, okay. So here's what you had.
So here's the actual CES page. The global stage of innovation. CES is the largest gathering place for world. Blah 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 blah. Owned and produced by consumer. Okay. So there's no mention of her. Can you go down? Okay. CES 2020. The past. Wow. Ivanka Trump, advisor to the president, White House. And then that's it. There's actually no article on it. They just have her face right here on the. I'm just going to expand this screen out. Am I missing anything here? So yeah, this is the page.
Yeah,
if you actually,
no, I mean,
they didn't. This is not an actual announcement. It's just her picture. So if I click on it, okay, here we go. Here's the article. Speakers: Guy Shapiro, Ivanka Trump. Guy Shapiro. Why does that name sound familiar? Anyway, if I click on her. Advisor to the president. So you actually have to go 3 clicks in to finally find the information about it.
Advisor to the president. That's not a title. That's not she's not like the chief technology officer or anything. There's no reason why she should be doing this.
Wow. I mean, I'm not going to add that to my agenda, but
yeah,
wow, that's I did not. We know who the people at CES support now.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Maybe it's not a political thing. I'm not going to make it a political thing. I think that like there's so much about the political ecosphere of the United States right now that exists so far beyond the realm of reality that we don't even have to talk about politics. But this is something like if you would have told me an hour ago, like CES is going to invite Ivanka Trump to be the keynote speaker, I would have been like, yeah, you're on crack.
I'm trying to figure out like why. Like you keep on talking. Okay, so here's the path. Keynote. So if I click her name, Ivanka Trump serves as the advisor of the president as she heads up the White House Office for Economic Initiatives and Entrepreneurship. In her role, she focuses on economic growth and job creation by advocating pro-growth and economic policies. Ms. Trump has championed the president's economic agenda, advocating for tax cuts, deregulation, workforce development, and expanding entrepreneurship. She was instrumental in the doubling of the child tax credit and the largest ever increase in funding for the child care and development block. She has also been a champion and helped secure the passage of the Perkins Career and Technical Education Act. Yada 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 yada.
There's nothing in there that I mean. CES is an international trade show.
I don't understand.
Yeah, so I don't either. I don't.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Andrew Edwards will have a good explanation for it. He'll have an excuse for it that will make total sense. Because he always does. He always comes up with the explanation for something that makes total sense and makes you feel stupid for thinking otherwise. But but yeah,
Ouch.
it doesn't. It's crazy. It's okay. I just saw that on. I was looking at Flipboard. I clicked on technology. That was the first thing that I saw. Oh my God.
I haven't looked at any. The only thing I saw trending today on Twitter was John Boyega's name. So who played Finn in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Apparently he's been slamming. I haven't actually seen his tweets, but apparently he's been slamming the script, his character, everything that happened. It basically, he's already been paid. He's got no more obligations to Disney. But guess what, John? Disney owns most of the major studios now. You should watch your mouth.
Maybe he's decided that he doesn't want to be like, people do make these decisions. Like, I don't like this acting thing anymore.
Well, he was told that he was going to be the lead. Like it was supposed to be about him for Star Wars. That's what apparently he was told. And of course it ended up being about Rey. I never for a second thought his character was going to be the lead. All the previews and all those trailers and everything for The Force Awakens did lead me to believe that, okay, he's a Jedi, because we saw that scene with him with the lightsaber. But
yeah, I mean, I do think that both when they first started advertising The Force Awakens, they had Rey, they had Oscar Isaac, they had John Boyega, and those three seemed like they were going to be the group that we spent the most time with. It didn't turn out to be the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Notchless iPhone with in-screen Touch ID could be the new top-end 2020 model report.
Is that from Geskin?
This is 9 to 5 Mac. Ben Lovejoy says this, and basically he says that Apple has long had the vision of truly bezel-free iPhone, famously described as Johnny Ive's single slab of glass. How long will it take? Blah blah blah. It suggests that the top-end iPhone in 2020, thanks in part to embedded fingerprint reader, will. I don't know that. I don't know.
I'll tell you this, okay? So, maybe I should do a video about this, because whenever I do the videos saying like I was wrong or I take it back, they seem to get a lot of views. But okay, so you know me, I was the biggest proponent for the longest time. I loved my in-display fingerprint sensors, and it was the coolest thing in technology. Now that I've used the iPhone for like as long as I have, including the 10R and now this one, I can't go back to fingerprint. In fact, when I pick up my Note, like I have it on the face detection, it's slow compared to an iPhone. But even the part of pushing the button, it works and it's fine, it's seamless and everything like that. But it's just the iPhone is just so much more fluid, right?
Yeah, I can still. It's still pretty natural with the V50 for me to use on the back fingerprint reader.
Yeah,
but when you go back to the iPhone and it's just like you lift it up and the phone's unlocked.
Yeah, my wife has she has the S10e, so she has the fingerprint thing on the side, right? She's still getting used to that because her case it's a case. No, it's not a casemate. It's got all the floaty stuff in the back of it. Anyway, it's got all the whatever. The case is so deep she thinks her finger needs to go inside there, and then she always touches her camera lens. So, but she does like how the fingerprint reader's on the right there with her thumb, because it's a regular capacitive fingerprint sensor, right? Hey, new Wizard Squad, Lions man, 67.
Thank you for the new membership, much appreciated.
Do we have some music?
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Can we give him a quack? There we go. Alex asks, Zach, do you like your Note? I love my Note. I really do. Here, I'll give it a kiss.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm just kind of skimming this. True depth camera will be under the screen. See, and we'll also have an in-display fingerprint reader. Face ID functionality, therefore, is canceled. What?
What?
I don't know.
No.
This is like Let's Go Digital. This is the source that they have for this. Let's Go Digital is citing a Credit Suisse presentation. There's not much to this, but
Where's the article coming from?
it's in 9 to 5 Mac. It's on 9 to 5 Mac.
It might actually have some legs then.
Maybe, but I mean, well, okay. Reliable Apple analyst Ming Chi Kuo suggested that the dual biometric iPhone will be first seen in 2021, stating that Apple has a lot of technical challenges to overcome first. So then they have a quote from him basically saying that.
Yeah.
Subsequent Bloomberg report echoed the idea that Face ID and embedded Touch ID would be offered, but said this could be seen as early as 2020. Samsung has demonstrated this is hard. Yes, it is hard. Latest report suggests notchless iPhone in 2020. A new report goes further than Ming Chi Kuo and Bloomberg by predicting a notchless iPhone with embedded Touch ID reader will be the top 2020 model, and that Apple will drop Face ID. Not in a million years.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
A million years.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, Apple has. I mean, yes, you have to enter a passcode sometimes, but they've really never said like, well, you can choose which way you want to get into your phone. So, not in a million years, they would not drop Face ID. In 2020, Face ID is going to be on all the 2020 MacBooks, guaranteed. And it's already on the iPad Pros. Face ID is the future of Apple. It's really the future of probably security for a lot of mobile technology.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they're going to drop it in favor of under the screen fingerprint reader. No.
I'm saying I agree with you.
Yeah. I'm just flabbergasted. I mean, how could you type this?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to get that click. I went to 9 to 5 Mac here, and I came across one of our favorite brands. I'm hoping to meet these guys at CES, and so are you. Amplify.
Oh yeah.
It says here, Amplify launches Wi-Fi 6 alien mesh router and mesh point bundle. That would be really cool to see in person there.
Yeah, I might have to get him to.
Well, they hooked you up with the other ones, right?
Yeah,
that's how I found your channel. When I was looking for Wi-Fi mesh systems, I came across this channel painfully on his tech, and I'm like, what is this old guy yelling about? And then here we are.
And you still don't know what I'm yelling about all these years later now.
It's been quite a year though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Ethnic is right. Face ID is 2 functions away from game over: landscape unlock and improved angle, which I kind of think those are the same things. Like you can landscape unlock the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal. Although I'm always holding the iPad Pro like this, so I'm always covering the.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Here's my iPhone. Now, if I turn it. Yeah, if I turn it like this, no, it's not unlocking. Now, if I go like this, oh, look at that, it unlocked.
Yeah,
so, yeah, they need to bring that, which is already in the iPad, to this.
Yeah, and then I agree with the improved angles, like being able to unlock your phone while it's laying on the table without having to do this.
Yeah, that's the one thing I mean, okay. So with mine, I have that option turned on where it's like wake up upon pickup. So if I grab my phone right now, by the time I get it up here to my face, okay, now it's unlocked.
Right.
So, and I don't have to do it slow like that. So here, I'm going to lock it again. If I grab it, okay, unlocked. Yeah, no, that would be totally cool if I could have it. Now I'll tell you this, like, so for example, with, and this is not a product plug, this is just the truth. So I've got, Pitaka sent me this is their mag thing. So it's a cradle, right?
Yeah.
And then this is a battery. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So that slides in there, and then that magnetically attaches to the back of the phone, right? This is their mag system. Okay. So when I actually have my note in here like this, so there's the note. Okay. So the note's on there. Magnetic, guys. It's not going to fall out. See that? See that?
Yes.
I just double tap that. Boom. Unlocked. So
yeah.
Right. See that wallpaper?
Jeremy, thank you. Happy New Year to you and everyone out there who's watching tonight. Happy New Year to all of you.
So if like when I have my iPhone like that in a cradle, like I can do the same thing with the iPhone. As long as I wake up the screen, it because the sensors are right there. Yes, it does work with me. But like you said, if they could fix it or add the additional so that you don't have to. So when it's flat like that, that's what you're talking about, right?
And I just wonder if it's a matter of scale, because they had more space and they could probably use maybe they use slightly larger components in the iPad. I don't know. So it's definitely possible. But once it's seamless like that, because I do the thing where I have my notifications hidden until it unlocks.
Okay.
And sometimes I just want to see what the notification says.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick up the phone, but I have to pick up the phone because it won't unlock.
So I have my notifications right there on the screen, and that's one thing I need to minimize. I'll tell you this much: turning down and turning off notifications, a lot of them.
Join the Wizard Squad.
What? How is he not already part of this?
That was. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So
welcome, Andrew. Welcome.
And
yeah, quack you.
So shit. Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, shit. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I think that to get back to where we started, there's no way they're ditching Face ID. Period.
Yeah.
So whatever this Credit Suisse presentation, whatever they were smoking in that room was good stuff.
Yeah.
Because they are like it's just not happening.
Must be from Canada.
So I saw that Alex was posting about the S11 or the S11. Yeah, it would be the S11, right? Or something.
They're calling it the S20. Is this true?
Yes, I saw it today, and I've seen it in enough places, kind of seemingly to be confirmed. Oh, Alex, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Alex.
Celebrate all the new members. Yes, once again,
and some quacks.
All right, I'm not going to do the quack though, because if you're somebody listening to the podcast on the audio.
So Luke asks, how do I become a member? Luke, if you just scroll down from the podcast here here on YouTube, you'll see a button right next to where the subscribe button is. It says join.
So, and if you don't see the button, I don't think it shows on mobile.
Okay.
So if you don't see a button, then it's youtube.com/JasonTLewis/.
You can do it on mobile if you go to the main page. Like if you click on where it says Painfully Honest Tech, you can do it from the main page there, here on desktop and everything. And look who's graced us with his presence.
Yes, the man about tech
coming in with the fire,
dropped his fireballs on us, and so yeah, the S20. This is what I've heard, and now I haven't studied it. I haven't gone through and whatever. But I did see in several different places today that they're going to call it the S20 because they feel like the S11 sounds too old.
Well, okay, so from a marketing standpoint, it makes complete sense, and it just, I mean, I don't from myself, I don't care what it's called, but I'll tell you this, this as much as I do. The average consumer, I hate using the average consumer. I hate using that. I need to find a different word. The average consumer is going to go into a store, and do you want to buy an iPhone 11 or Galaxy S20?
I don't know, because S doesn't mean anything.
Well, I'm talking about the number thing.
But that's the thing. Like, the S has never meant anything.
Yeah, no.
Right?
It's
always just so why are you married to the S?
Yeah.
Why not just go with something different?
Just call it Galaxy 20.
Well, yeah, or we saw earlier this year, I saw stuff like Galaxy One or something like that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's kind of like the Note name. There's too much recognition and trust behind the Galaxy name. Just like there's too much trust and everything for them to get rid of the word. Like when there were all those rumors about getting rid of the Note, there's no way. right? And we've even seen some other Chinese companies. I think Xiaomi came out with their one called the Note, and they got some big trouble from Samsung.
Redmi.
Was it Redmi? Okay, Redmi came up with one called the Note, and they actually got in trouble from Samsung with that one. I know there are litigations with that. So the name Galaxy and the name Note will stay with those flagship devices. But as for the number thing, it's a purely marketing thing. And it kind of makes sense too, because you're entering a new decade, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure we'll hear them talk about it plenty. They have like 5 or 6 different booths, and plus their main booth at CES. They take over a huge chunk.
Yeah, I've been invited to their booth, something. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I'm getting a tour of their booth. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I like Alex's idea here. Galaxy S20 5G Pro Max. Excel Stratosphere. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think that if you're going to use numbers, it's silly to not just go in order.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go in order because you have some kind of problem with the way the numbers make you feel, then go to something else.
Well, look at Apple, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah,
literally, that's what happened. 7, 8, 9. Get it? 8 is an eat.
7, 8, 9. Yes,
there was no 9, right? They went 7, 8, then 10.
But they had a reason to go 10.
Okay, so what's the reason now, Jason?
The reason they went 10 was it was the 10th anniversary of the iPhone.
Okay.
So it was a special edition.
Okay.
That's how they pitched it at first.
So that's okay, but for what Samsung's doing is not?
Yeah, like 11 just sounds like too ugly a number. We'll go to 20. That's not a reason. But see, if you look at it from that angle, it seems to make sense because we're entering 2020. This is obviously not the 20th version of their phone. It's just a marketing thing, dude. I just think that they could come up with, an entirely different name, rebrand it in such a way that they don't have to go jump through all these hoops to try and make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could go a bunch of different ways. They've got tons of money. They could hire whatever company they need to hire to to go through and give them all the names that they can possibly think of. Hell, I would do it. I would do it for cheap.
Do you believe the rumors? I think it's pretty legit. Of a February release, I think that's way too early.
No, I mean, I went back and looked, and I was in San Francisco for Unpacked in the middle of February. So
in 2019?
Yeah.
I thought it was in March.
The phone released in March.
Oh, that's right.
Like the first week of March or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
That's right, because I got mine like just before April. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but the Unpacked event was in February.
Okay, so here's the deal, Jason. I am your camera guy.
Okay.
Get me in there, baby. I've got the points. Let's fly out. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they still invite me.
I can't see why you wouldn't. Did you get into that OnePlus event?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Or I haven't.
I'll work on it. I'll work on
it.
Oh, it's been the holidays. It's been crazy time.
Okay.
March 11th, says Zane. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That's a release date. So the announcement will be towards the end of February. Man, isn't New York cold in February?
Yeah, it is. As a witch's teat, as they say.
You know what? Speaking of witches,
as a well digger's knee.
I tried watching The Witcher 3 times now, and I have fallen asleep all 3 times in that first episode.
It's not good. It's so sad, but
I know.
Good.
I'm not going to watch it. And I like the dude. I like Superman.
Yeah, I mean
Henry Cavill, whatever his name is. Yeah,
but no, I do too. And I thought he was. I watched the whole series in one night. I thought he was the best thing about that.
But it's very interesting. Like people, it seems like people either love it or they don't. They just don't like it. And I don't like it. I've fallen asleep, and it's not because it's late at night. My wife's like, you fell asleep. And I'm like, okay, what else do we have? She's like, let's watch the morning show. So we watched episode 4 of the morning show. And I'm like, I stayed glued to that. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
Morning show.
I finished watching the morning show this week. Viper's not here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Yeah, that was a heck of a show. I mean, they sort of threw themselves right into the deep end
Yeah.
of stuff that people don't want to talk about with that show.
I like it. I like
and
it.
then just kept going. It was I was impressed. I was impressed.
Jennifer Aniston's character reminds me of my mean aunt Wanda, and I'll say that because I don't like her. She's just a anyway.
Yeah, she plays like the Ice Queen very well, doesn't she?
She
She
does.
really does.
Speaking of
And-
ice and everything, my wife and my daughter went and saw Frozen 2 today.
oh,
And the one thing that the one thing my daughter came out of that with is Olaf says that turtles can breathe out of their butts. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad you know this now, honey.
yeah.
So my daughter came running in and she's screaming this. I'm like, what are you saying? She came down here and she goes, Olaf says that turtles can breathe out of their butts. And I'm like, that's what you got from the movie? And my wife's just like, she hasn't shut up since we left.
I don't want to miss Alex's super chat here asking me if I had time to explore San Francisco. I did have time, but I changed my flight and left early.
Wait a minute, was the wait a minute, the Unpacked was in San Francisco or was it in
San Francisco last year? Yeah, they bounce it back and forth from coast to coast.
Oh, okay. So what were you in New York for in 2019?
That was the Unpacked event for the Note 10.
Oh, for the Note 10, and that makes sense because it was in the fall, which means the Galaxy will be done probably in San Francisco. Okay, they would want they'll want to do somewhere warm. Yeah, no, you're definitely get me on that list.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll be LA. I don't think they go the same place every year. There's like, I don't know. At any rate, February is when the announcement will be for sure. We don't have long to wait, people, for the Galaxy S20.
20. It's a marketing thing. So there's gonna be what 103 megapixel cam in there. They're saying
that's what they say.
I know the square module thing will be the thing for cameras this year. Whatever.
I mean, it's not. They're going to be bigger too. Like this, the one that I saw on a mock-up for like case design for Samsung, it's like a quarter of the back of the phone.
Yeah. You know what is looking good? And On Leaks, was it On Leaks? Steve, whatever.
Luke joining the Wizard Squad. Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much.
Give him a couple quacks.
Awesome. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. I really appreciate it, man.
Well, I was gonna
this year, just to go on the memory. This year, New Year's resolution is to really double down and figure out how to like deliver on this memberships thing.
Yeah.
And have a plan in place and have stuff, because there's stuff that I've said, that I'm going to do. A lot of it was stuff that I didn't have enough people to do it. So live streams, Q&As, so I put out a thing. I say, it's Q&A time. Give me a question. You ask about hot dogs. And I get one more question, and that's it. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
So yeah. But now we're getting the numbers now. So Luke, welcome. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Wizard Squad.
So I was going to ask you, Jason, did you see the leaks on the Pixel 4a?
I did not. I have not seen that.
Okay, I'll get that. You keep on talking. I'll find the pictures here.
Okay. Yeah, Alex, I have this thing like. I used to travel all the time. I used to go on tour with my band. I used to do all kinds of stuff. But now I just hate to travel. And then once I'm someplace, I want to leave immediately. Yes, Luke, I'll answer your questions now. That's perk number one. I will pay attention to you.
We always pay attention. Hey, so check this out. So here, this comes from Steve McFly. I think he just calls himself this because of the whole time travel thing. On Leaks, who's always been very trusted. He's always been dead on. Okay, here comes my late Christmas gift from your very first look at the Google Pixel 4a 360-degree plus. So let me just, I'll just click this and make it a little bigger. But there we go. You've got a circular little cutout in the top left, and full screen. You got a fingerprint sensor on the back, as suspected, because in display or face type of ID stuff is going to cost more. And then you've got a single camera. This looks really good. And if this is the same sort of price point that the 3A was, this is going to kill all other flagship type budget Android phones for the year.
Well, I've noticed that a lot of people are giving the Samsung A51 a pretty serious look right now. I'm thinking about trying to get one. I think this might be the year when folks like us start to cover and look at those like tear down phones, because the flagships are just not going to be. It's just not. They're too expensive.
Look at some of the comments, and like I'm not afraid to show these because this is public. These are public tweets. What? Come on, what's the bezels? It's 2020 compared to the 4 bezels are a holy grail. I knew it. Now sleep for some Steve. Bravo. If you scroll down even further, there's like people complain about the dumbest things.
Yeah. I mean,
right. So
yeah,
anyway.
the bezels thing. It's a nice bezel-less phone is always nice, but sometimes a little bit of bezel, I don't care.
Little cushion for the whatever. Yeah.
A little bit of something to grab onto.
There you go.
Luke, I have those Soundcore Liberty Pros in my Amazon cart, and I'm gonna get them very soon. Next time Amazon pays me. So, but I was talking about them today on an Amazon stream, because we were talking about AirPod alternatives. So we were talking about the Jabra Elite 65Ts and 75Ts, and then we were also talking about the Anker line. Yeah, Anker's got wireless headphones that go from like $59 up to $150. They've got like a nearly just $10 increments. So Anker's really, really holding it down with the wireless earbuds right now.
That's definitely a booth I'll be visiting, because I mean I have their cables. I have their cables right here. I've got I have my Anker Soundcore. Oh, they're over here. They're ready to be packed. I have a stack of stuff to pack. I'm taking those to Vegas for listing at the Airbnb. Nice. No, honestly, Jason, okay? So I know you're staying at an Airbnb.
Yes,
but are you seriously staying on some dude's couch?
No, it looks like
a nice one.
It looks like it's an air mattress. It looks like it's an air mattress in a private room with a private bath.
Okay.
So I think it's just like, and I don't have access to like the kitchen or anything like that.
Yeah.
Everything else in the house is not accessible to me, which is fine by me because I don't want to just BS with people.
Yeah.
So all that's fine. The reviews were generally good, but like some people complain because the guy makes a lot of noise. But it says right in his thing, like, I'm a musician. I sometimes.
Oh, I remember that listing.
Yeah,
I actually looked at that one too.
Yeah, and I thought I was looking at a bunch of different stuff after the other one. After the other one fell through, I was looking at a few things, and then I was just like, "Oh, this one's close." And
can you walk to Las Vegas?
It's a little bit north of where you are, like on the other side of the highway from where you are.
Oh, okay.
But it's not far enough north to walk, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay.
But yeah, it's.
I found out today. I was looking at my listing again, and so I'm staying with a super host, and her name is Barbara. She has really good reviews, like nothing but good reviews. She's got a pool and everything. Like, I don't care, right? I'll sit by the pool when I'm typing and everything. But I missed this part in there. She goes, for breakfast I have instant coffee, but my husband and I like water and green tea, which is perfect. That's what I've been drinking in the mornings. And then she's like, I have a variety of cereals, skim milk, and toast and everything. If you want anything else, you'll have to go down to the Whole Foods, which is a block away. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, stuff I'm not supposed to be eating, but I'm going to eat it anyway because it's free food. So I've got breakfast taken care of. I can't wait.
You're paying. It's not free.
I know. But compared to like, so the amount that I'm paying for 9 nights. So I get on the 4th, I get in this Saturday.
Yeah.
And I leave on the 13th. So like the Monday after CES, like way after everybody. So I've decided to stay a couple of days just to kind of, right, and to do videos and to maybe be a tourist. I might go take a look at the Grand Canyon and everything like that.
So that's
the Yeah, the amount I'm paying is the equivalent for 2 nights on the Strip.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was looking at some prices of like hotels on the Strip, and like, I no, no, I couldn't do it. But
So the way that I have it arranged is probably similar to you. So I'll leave the Airbnb, go north to the Las Vegas Convention Center, then circle back around as I'm going back down towards the Strip where I have the different meetings of the different hotels like the MGM Grand and the Venetian and everything like that, and then back to the Airbnb to change, and then back to the Strip to go to the parties and this and things like that.
Here's the thing: if I go back to the Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
in the evening after like the daytime events, I won't leave.
Yeah, you're gonna hit you'll hit the sack and that's it.
I just won't, because I know I'm gonna be really tired. I don't know if I'll sleep very well, so I'm just gonna have to power through like 3 days of power. That's what I got to do. But
El Jefe says, hope we get to meet up. Absolutely, Jeff. We will meet up. We have each other's numbers and everything like that.
Yeah, Zach and I, we're coordinating our schedules. So
you mean like I forward you all the stuff you can go to?
Well, not only that,
but you didn't tell me about the Samsung thing.
No, they sent me an invitation. I didn't. What did I say? They sent me an invitation. I didn't know. I'll take you with me if you want to go.
Yeah, you're going to take me with me, or you with me.
Yeah. So
I'll tell you what we're going to do here, Jeff. Is I will start an iMessage group with you and I and Jason, and we'll add whoever else we need to, and we will coordinate. That's probably the best way to kind of keep in touch.
Yeah.
It was with our iMessage. Well, I'll do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So CES is coming, and that's going to be the big thing. So next week we won't have a podcast because we'll be at CES.
Well, I'm going to do my Sunday thing, and I'm going to try to do the PhD pregame show. But there's no guarantee on an actual podcast this show.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to swing that because Wi-Fi, other places. But I mean, I'm just going into it like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna see the things. That's all I'm going. And we will report back. There will be videos from CES. That much is for sure. But until we get back, no podcast. And we've passed the hour mark, which is the mark that I want to keep as the official podcast hour. So, Zach, do you have anything that you want to add? People who are listening at home.
I just want to say thanks for a terrific 2019. Everybody's support and this and that, especially with the podcast here. I started doing this with you at late 2018.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And even through all the challenges, health, mentally, wise, everything like that, I still showed up here every Tuesday. I think I missed maybe 2 shows this year.
Maybe.
Okay. So thank you, Jason. You know, I've already talked to you privately and everything like that, but you've been a tremendous support, both as a friend and as a mentor and someone I look up to in this whole game thing. You and I are still figuring out this whole thing. Yeah. And to everybody in the chat here, everybody listening, thank you for making 2019 really awesome and going. I'm looking forward to an awesome 2020. So just thank you for your support for both myself and Jason.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you who are out there listening to the podcast via your ears, as if you would anyway, for those of you who are checking out the podcast, not the live broadcast, we stop at an hour for the podcast, but we go on afterwards in the live. So the live thing goes on after this all ends. If you want to be a part of that, it's every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's Central Standard Time now. Have you noticed that they stopped saying like instead of Central Standard Time, it'd be like CDST, like in Daylight Savings Time?
Who stopped saying it?
Well, it used to be that it was Central Standard Time meant not Daylight Savings, and CDST meant Central Standard or Central whatever I just said.
I just refer to everything with like, I always, whenever I post stuff on Twitter and everything, I always give like the Eastern Standard Time, because it just like, because everybody kind of seems to know, okay, I need to minus an hour, or minus 2 hours, minus 3 hours.
I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, so the East Coast time has always been the time that I knew until, I mean, I lived out here for like 14 years, but
see, I'm Mountain Time, so East Coast is 2 hours ahead of me. Pacific is an hour behind.
Yeah, it's just I'm like in the middle, so it just seems to me like, okay, so people can subtract a couple hours or add an hour.
Yeah, someone tweeted us today, so like, what time is that Central? And I actually put all the times down for them. I think it was CDF, man.
It might. I don't remember who it was. I did see that tweet though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to echo everything that Zach said. All the folks, the podcast is just getting its legs back on the audio side, but we've been doing this Tuesday nights here on YouTube and recently on Twitch for quite a while. And every week is fun. Every week, we just I don't have friends. Okay. I don't have people that I go out and hang out with here in the town where I live. I'm here in this studio like most of the time. So this is my social time. These live streams, like the podcast and Friday Night Viper and those kinds of things. This is my social time. And I really enjoy spending time with you folks. And it's been a lot of fun. So 2020 will be even better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so if you're listening now, you're leaving us, and if you're here, just stick around. But for those of you who are going away, just remember, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL, and this has been the Painfully Honest Tech Podcast, the podcast so honest it hurts. I'd like to thank my co-host Zach and co-host in absentia Viper for being here or not being here tonight, and for all of you who have been here, thank you ever so much. Did I say my name's Jason?
I think you did.
Yeah. I what else am I supposed to say? Oh yeah. Come find us on the Twitters, on the Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
Painfully Honest Tech, Zach Talks Tech. You'll find us anywhere. Until then, we're out.
All right. And you're done recording there?
And we're out.
All right, cool. And everybody take a deep breath and stretch.
Oh man, something's been messed up in my back.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a knot in the muscle in my trapezius on the right side.
I have a question. So because we're not doing the podcast anymore right now. We're just live here. Jeff, if you're available, if you can hop on for a bit, please do. Is that cool, Jason?
Yeah.
It better be, because I just did it publicly in front of everybody.
Yeah, I seem like a giant asshole. Just
dude, these headphones are so awesome. Like, I'm not normally, me, I'm not a headphone guy, right? Like, but I'm putting these on now, and it's just like,
that's the thing.
Wow.
Nobody's a headphone person until they get the good headphones on their ears, and then they're like, oh, I can't do that. I have to have that now.
So Jeff, send a DM or in that group there through iMessage to Jason, and we'll get you a link if you can make it on. If you can't, then cool, right? Just let us know.
I'm sending it through Twitter right now.
Okay. There we go. So I made a group, Jason, for you and I, and Jeff's in there as well. I mean, we can add some other people to this too that are going to CES. Like, I know I will not add Travis, because Travis hates being part of group things like this, because he thinks it's always going off and everything. But literally, this is just so that, hey, where are you? I'm in South Hall and the north, on this side, whatever. Right. So
yeah. I was in between like Michael Fisher, Jaime Rivera, like Josh Vergara, like a bunch of people. Everybody was trying to figure out where everybody else had gone in New York.
Yeah.
And nobody could figure it out. So like I ended up going to the terrible industry like Samsung party. And there was going to be another more low key party, but that didn't happen. It was pouring rain, anyway. Yeah, Jeff, however you want to hop on, come on.
Whatever works, Jeff, man. People would love to see you. We love having you here. So
yeah.
So do you have so through super chats, like last week, you got paid for CES, like you got everything taken care of. Some huge contributions from some awesome people in here.
Yes.
I know Alex was one of them, for example. He's the one that really sticks out. And do you have an official sponsor or anything like that?
I don't have an official sponsor, which is fine. Like I thought about trying to do it, and then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to do the trip on the cheap instead. Like that Future Tech Awards thing. I'm pretty sure that's the thing that I was in line to potentially co-host that show.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work out.
Did you RSVP? I sent you the link.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
Good. Yeah.
So that was going to pay for the trip, but it didn't happen. So now I'm going on the cheap. I mean, it's only with not counting Uber and food.
Yeah.
I'm spending like $400.
Yeah. No, it's don't go to
Vegas for like 4 days and fly.
Don't go to CES unless you have I don't want to say you have money, but just make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Right? So
I don't know what that means.
Just make sure you have your finances, taken care of. Like for me, and I talked about this on my thing, the pre-show before this, and I mentioned here. I approached Pataka, and I asked them after I got their air case and after I bought a couple more of their pieces. So I bought this for my note. They sent me their air case. James Pataka reached out to me, and then I approached them and I said, "Hey, how would you guys like to be a CES sponsor?" And I have an email trail about 43 correspondences back and forth with me and their marketing manager, figuring stuff out and how it's going to work and what I'm going to do. And we got things agreed on. So they're paying for a portion.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. So yes, I'm going to be doing, I think I'll be doing 4 vlogs while I'm there. Kind of like, here's what I'm seeing. And yeah, they'll open up by, sponsored by Pataka. There'll be a couple product placements here and there of them, like as I'm moving through the halls. But that's basically it. It's like not gonna be in your face. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of like subtle and everything like that. And then I am gonna be doing an exclusive, like this will be a separate video tour of their booth and what they have coming. Because they've been teasing some stuff on Twitter, like different designs and everything.
Yeah.
And like you saw tonight, this is their battery thing, right? And which sticks on the back of like here's the iPhone.
Yeah.
And now it's charging.
It's very cool.
Very cool. I mean, that's the same kind of material and everything. So like I'm a fan of their product and everything like that. And they don't normally do sponsorship stuff. In fact, I'm the first one they've ever done it with. They normally just send product out to people.
Right.
So I'm fairly new to doing the sponsoring thing. They're fairly new to it. So we're kind of doing this together. So it's exciting, right? Yeah. And we've got all our I's dotted and everything's crossed. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. They sent me this. They've sent me this. They've sent me the air case for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and they're sending me their air tray, which is like their version of Air Power.
Right.
Okay. That's it. Everything else, Pataka, that I have, the mounts, the other cases, everything, I bought with my own money.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. I've had people reach out to me, like I'm gonna do a TCL thing on Monday or Tuesday. I've got a few things on Tuesday, a few things on Wednesday, and then the evening stuff is scheduled. But I didn't want to like over schedule myself, having not gone there. But Wes Nickel asked just before I wanted to put a little time into this. What do you guys think about Android Authority naming the Pixel 4 as best screen of 2019? I'll let you handle that, Zach.
Sorry, what did I need to hear that again? They named what?
Android Authority named the Pixel 4's screen the best of 2019. The best screen of 2019.
So I've used them, the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the Note 10 Pro, or sorry, Note 10 Pro. Jeez. Note 10 Plus. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I've used all three. I've used all these flagships.
Right.
No. I'm going to give it to the Note.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to the Note. Yeah.
Samsung always has the best screens, even if subjectively it's not the best, because they sort of overtune and over contrast and all that kind of stuff. But on a phone, it just looks so good. Android Authority is smoking something. That's all.
That's like, it's not a bad screen. That's not to say it's a bad screen.
Maybe they're just maybe they were just so surprised that it didn't suck.
It's not.
like,
It's not.
oh
It's
my
not a.
God, it's not blue. It doesn't suck.
Yeah, well, it's not blue. It's not a bad screen, but I'll tell you this: when I was watching videos side by side, kind of do my own comparison, and no, I didn't do a versus video, and I think those things are kind of silly in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with them. If you like that kind of content, giver. If you like making that kind of content, giver. For myself personally, I don't watch it. I don't like it. When I watched, like, for example, like I would watch one of your videos, or I would watch Viper, or I would watch Jeff. When I had them side by side, I always found the Note to be better. And to be very clear, I put both phones at 100% brightness and turned off any blue tint, like blue for your eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Blue modes or whatever you want to call it. I've always liked the Note. And even right now, between this and my iPhone, I still prefer watching video on my Note over my iPhone.
Yeah. I mean, the iPhone screen is really a very good screen, and it looks very good and all that stuff, right? But it's not tuned to pop the way that the Samsung screens do, you know. And that's been Samsung's thing forever. I mean, if you look at a Samsung screen, a lot of times it looks like it's a sticker, you know. It looks like it's a printed sticker. It's just crazy. 504, thank you for the 504 super chat. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. Like, there are a lot of things I do miss about having a Note. And one of them is that screen. Although I will say that the V50 screen is very good as well. I mean, it's not different really in any significant way. It's an OLED screen. So, you know, but I do, the one thing that bothers me about most Android phone screens, and this is really not really anything about the phone versus iPhone, is that like the auto brightness on an Android phone is always like too much or too little.
It seems like it's a hair too much sometimes, because I'll be sitting there at night on my phone in the dark living room. And I always find my Note is just a little, I have to, like, a little bit like this with my eye.
Like I have to, if I'm laying in bed at night and there's like a very dim light source, I have to kind of angle it, so it's annoying.
Yeah, and with my iPhone, I never have to touch the brightness ever.
I never even noticed that it's happening.
Yeah, it's seamless, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah.
Is Jeff in the waiting room?
Jeff is not in the waiting room.
Okay, I thought maybe he was.
I'm looking for him.
Okay,
he's not here.
It's okay. 504 with the 504.
That's right. Everybody's got HDR now, Ethnic. Everybody's got the HDR. Samsung's got the HDR Plus, Pro, Max, whatever it is. You know, I'm thinking about doing a video on what do these companies mean by Pro.
Didn't you? I thought you already did one like that.
No, I've had it in my list for a while.
Here's something I want to talk about. We didn't talk about this in the podcast. I'm kind of glad we didn't. By now, you know about this.
Yeah, TechSmart.
The TechSmart thing.
Yeah,
I was about to say Smart Tech. No, TechSmart. Now, you did a Can You Trust on him a while back, and one of the things you said in that is that it doesn't seem like Keaton knows much about tech.
Yeah.
Which I think is what draws his audience in. So to recap, do you want me to recap what happened, or you want to?
You go ahead. I'll jump in and add things here and there, whatever. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, again, this is not quote unquote drama, but this is what could lead to this, could affect my wallet and Jason's wallet and the way that you guys watch YouTube. And I'm not exaggerating. So hear me out. There's a channel called TechSmart. Okay, with 2 T's. The guy on there runs the channel. His name is Keaton something rather. Anyway, what happened is TechSmart, Keaton, he apparently is accused of, and it hasn't been proven, but allegedly, and the gasoline is there and the fire has been lit, of view botting. And what that means is, it wasn't buying subs. He was using multiple VPNs, multiple computers, multiple iPhones, multiple whatever it is, devices to get the views up, specifically for the ones that he did with Wish. You guys know the website wish.com. Yeah, he would do a sponsorship thing with them, and then to have the views go through the roof so that he would get paid more. So a lot of times when we do sponsorship, direct sponsorship stuff like that with a brand or something like that, they'll expect a certain velocity in terms of viewership or something like that. Okay, a certain amount of clicks, et cetera, et cetera. In his case, he told them views. Okay. And so those went through the roof. Good evening, El Jefe. Let me just finish this. We'll get you in here. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yep.
So apparently his business partner came out, showed off all the tweets and this and that and the back and forth and everything of him basically saying that he did this. First of all, that is against YouTube's terms of service. He could lose his channel. Second of all, that is a federal crime. He has literally scammed, allegedly, Wish out of money.
Wire farm. It's wire fraud.
Yeah, it's wire fraud.
It's wire fraud.
Now this is how it could affect us, and this is where I'll let Jason jump in.
Yeah.
This is what I hope doesn't happen. Okay. Future companies down the road, companies that already work with YouTubers, or already work with people within the tech niche, whatever, they could say, "Oh, all YouTubers are like this," and not work with them anymore. The way that we can get around this is by being more transparent and giving access to analytics and things like that. There's ways of doing that. Okay, of giving direct access. My suspicion is Wish was probably just looking at Social Blade, or maybe Keaton was just giving them access to Social Blade, or what was happening.
No, so this is probably how it works, because this is how it works from time to time for me. They'll agree on a certain amount of money, right? And that's based on a certain number of views.
Yep.
So based on a certain CPM. So they're paying for X. Now, if he outperforms, then
there's a bonus in there.
Next time he goes to work with them, he can say, "Well, the last one outperformed, so let's do this one for whatever." And basically, here's what I took away from it. Drama alert. I mean, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but Keemstar sort of broke this down pretty well.
I thought it was well researched. I thought he did a good job. I'm not a fan of his either, but yeah.
I mean, I like Keemstar in the sense that, like, somebody like Keemstar has to exist, but
Jeff, yeah,
he actually like went through, he got the tweets, he went to his sources, he got information from like the back channels and everything, and basically it sounded like, and remember, Keaton is the guy who, when the iPhone 10 came out, he went to the E-Star machine.
Yeah, to trade it in.
And it was a fake. You could see where he faked it. He faked the trade in. He did not, like, it wasn't a Samsung Captivate or whatever. He didn't get rid of the iPhone for $2 or whatever it was that happened in that video. But that was a total fake. And then I guess he spent $20,000 on iOS devices. $20,000 on iOS devices so that he could, I guess, manually somehow. I mean, it's probably more involved than this, but I mean, I guess you need 20,000 iPhone, like you need 20,000 iOS devices so that 20,000, whatever that is, like 2,000 of them are like watching the video 20.
And here's what happens with viewbotting. When you get 20,000 devices or whatever it is, even 500 devices, all instantly watching the same video, all saying yes and watching it 100% through, the YouTube algorithm kicks in and says, "Oh, let's serve this out to more people." So by doing an initial surge, then it serves out to more people. For example, and we've done this here. John has done it on Front Page Tech. I've done it on my channel. Sometimes Travis does it every Saturday. He'll do a live stream. And then immediately after that live stream, drop a video. Then you guys all go click on it. Okay. Nothing wrong with that because you guys are all individuals, right? It's the same idea, but he's doing it with 20,000, 10,000, however many devices it was, all through VPNs. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like, I'm not too worried about it affecting other tech people because,
well, like technically T said, like those are the companies that we don't want to work with. But unfortunately, we live in a world of Logan Paul. And when that happened, that affected all of us.
Yeah, but the way that I see this, like, so this is more structured than the Logan Paul thing. Like Logan Paul was just like just a loose cannon. You know, he was banging around the deck of the ship. He was going to crash into something eventually. But one thing about the advertising stuff that goes on is there are things in place. So the majority of people who are doing social media advertising have a certain amount of assurance that the people that they're working with are professionals, and there are contracts in place and all of this kind of stuff. Like I don't do anything that doesn't have a contract in place.
Yeah,
you know. So it's always basically the same contract with just the details of whatever the thing is that particular time. But still, so for Keaton, I mean, to me, it's sad. It's sad for one thing, because I don't understand how he has a channel with 3 million subscribers. Nobody watches his videos.
Well, it's kind of funny because one of the things that Drama Alert brought up is that 3.2 million subscribers and like 900 Twitter followers.
Yeah,
and there's a direct correlation between Twitter and YouTube. There always has been. People that are watching on YouTube generally are also following generally. On Twitter. I mean, for example, on Twitter, I have 2,600 followers. On YouTube, I'm close to 5,000. I think. What are you at, Jeff?
Hang on, I haven't looked in a while. 2,400. So roughly 10%.
Yeah.
So for me, it's different though, because I didn't do too much on Twitter until the YouTube thing really started to take off.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got like 43 or 4,400 Twitter followers.
Yeah. You don't interact a lot on there either. I mean, you have in this year, but generally for you, Jason, it's here's a link for a thing coming up, or it might be a quick introduction into a conversation. Yeah. Where someone like myself, or for example, like Travis or Viper, like we're on there, it seems like 24/7. It's probably a little unhealthy. It
seems like people aren't following as many people as they used to. It seems like it's easier to see a lot of different stuff through the Twitter algorithm without having to be like following somebody specifically and stuff. So it just doesn't seem like people are following people as often.
Yeah, but someone with 3.2 million subscribers should have over 900 subscribers. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, right? Because
but I did look at his Twitter, and he posts like once every 2 weeks. So I don't know. I don't understand. For one thing, if you're not putting a certain amount of hustle on Twitter, then how much hustle are you putting on YouTube? Because they sort of feed off of each other in a certain way, right?
I get a lot of traffic from Twitter. And YouTube algorithm loves that. If you bring people in from clicking a link from somewhere else,
external,
the algorithm loves that. In fact, when I look at my traffic sources, like number one is always subscribers, and then it's search, and then it's Twitter. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, put this into perspective, right? Let's take our buddy Jonathan. 3+ million subscriber channel. So similar in channel size on YouTube, over 500,000 followers on Twitter.
Jonathan Morrison. Yeah. See, that's what TechSmart should be closer to, in my opinion.
But look at, and then again, it's even an even more extreme case where you have Mr. Mobile, Michael Fisher, 800K on YouTube, but almost as many on Twitter, which is like, wait, what? So so there's a direct correlation between that, because I had no idea why my Twitter following even got past 1,000 or past 2,000. I'm like, what is going on here? But it's because that's where people can find me and reach me, and I do answer people's questions and stuff. So I guess that sort of does make sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, Michael Pepper points out that like Linus Tech Tips has 930 something thousand.
Yeah.
They've got 10 million subs, but still, I mean, it's
very odd. It's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not possible.
And another thing that Keemstar pointed out, and I went and looked for it myself. If you look at TechSmart's videos, if you click on videos and you scroll through, the ones that always have the huge numbers are the ones that are with Wish, and you know which ones those are because they have the Wish logo in the thumbnail.
Right.
That's what are you doing, man?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've been watching tech YouTube videos for a long time, and he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
but he's never been like, even if you don't look at the sub numbers, you have a sense of like who's got momentum, who people are paying attention to, all that kind of stuff. You get that sense no matter what the sub numbers are.
Mhm.
And I've always felt like nobody is paying attention to that guy at all. Like he's just out there doing his thing. And like I remember having a conversation with somebody, like they were like, oh well, he's got a different audience. His audience is 12-year-olds. Like I don't know, that's not a big tech market.
Yeah.
But then again, we can't measure it because it's too young for YouTube.
Yeah. Bandrew has a good point too in the chat.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. Hey, we're at 3 viewers right now. We were at 6 before. So I'm gonna get that Twitch affiliate.
That's right.
Gonna happen. It's gonna happen as long as I don't stay on here for too long and mess up the numbers. But that's the I don't know. The view botting thing doesn't surprise me. It surprises me that it doesn't happen more often.
Oh no, if you look for the signs, you can see it in a lot of different places.
How much you want to bet there's people probably covering up stuff right now because oops.
Unlisting videos right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
Oh no, for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to name names because I don't have any proof that any of it's true, but there are some major big tech YouTubers who, like, the scuttlebutt under the radar was that like they bought X number of subs basically.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can't say who I heard that about because I don't have proof or know that it's true.
Yeah. But
still, I mean, you hear stuff like that, and I usually just think like, whatever.
It's probably the same names that I know of. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah. And I usually just think, whatever. But it's not only that this guy Keaton did this view botting thing and inflated his numbers. It's also like, and this is kind of like a little bit more difficult to understand by just hearing somebody tell you about it. But I guess he went into business with somebody, and then he and his business partner sort of came in, and once the other business partner was, he stole somebody's company basically, like just kicked the guy out.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff going on with that too, man. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, that was GMG, and they were reaching out to creators. I think they were trying to form some sort of an MCN. So there was some stuff going on in the background there as well that didn't get mentioned. But there's some stuff I've heard through other people that have been reached out to by them. They're like, wow, but they never followed up, but they did reach out to me. So there's some weirdness going on around there, man. And man, it's just there's a lot of that happening. But you also got to watch out, and this happened to me before, where if you're doing a review for a product, they know what, if a vendor asks, oh hey, when are you gonna upload that video? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have it scheduled for this date. This is when that video is gonna go live. And I had it happen one time where I uploaded that video, and all of a sudden the views went crazy. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? There's no comments. And as far as I can tell from what it looked like, the vendor or the company did something. They either added it to their website, added it to a blog. All of a sudden I got a rush of external traffic, but it was just like, I'm like, what's going on? At first I thought I had like triggered the algorithm. I'm like, yeah, right. I was like 4,000 subscribers or something. I was like, hey, this is great. And then all of a sudden it's just like tanked. I'm like, what?
I have a video where something like that happened.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing. And I'm like, so I contacted them. I'm like, hey, did you guys do something? The person's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wes Nickel asks, how was this uncovered? I guess the guy who got his company stolen went on Twitter and just like had a long Twitter thread where he just laid it all out. Like, this is all of the stuff that he did to me. This is all of the stuff he was doing. Keaton hasn't addressed it whatsoever. I mean, I guess that's one of the benefits of not really being active on social media.
But it's also smart on his side to not say anything.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like we've seen people. I've gotten in trouble I've gotten myself in trouble. Other people have gotten themselves in trouble doing this, that, just sort of shooting off their mouths or whatever. And that's the kind of stuff that you can go and say, look, that was a mistake. I was wrong about doing that, and I didn't see it in the way, whatever. But this is kind of like people want to see the books. Like, open up the books, man. Let us see. It's unfortunate too, and I think it does, maybe not this exact thing, but I think it does happen. It does happen quite a bit. And I do know, again, nobody has told me names, and the people that I've heard about it, I don't know if it's actually true. But I've basically said, people are like, yeah, there are plenty of people in the tech space who do reviews for money. And that's their thing. That's their thing. So
I've had brands ask me, like, how come you charge this much, but this brand, this channel with 3,000 more than you subscribers, they want $5,000, and I'm like, because that's their price. I said there's nothing in place and everything. Like, I have a number for myself, and I always quote it, but I always tell them I'm flexible to what they need. Yeah. And if they come back and they say, well, we have X amount, I'll say, okay, then let's do this. Like, so for example, with Pitaka, I told them the number. I think you guys know what the number is. We've talked about before. Right. And then they came back and they said, well, can we do this number? And I said, okay, but I'm going to have to remove this. And they said, okay, no problem. And it was literally 2 more emails back and forth just to verify. Then they sent through it looks like they got it off the web somewhere, like a contract. Right? Just an agreement, like, Zach will do this, right? Pitaka will be featured here. Signed off on it. That was it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, at least they seem more professional than some of the companies that hit me up.
Yeah. But I also got them to pay me 100% up front. So,
nice.
So it's been interesting for me this year because I'm with Studio 71, and that's like a real business.
Yeah, of course.
And like, they have major clients. Like, they represent friggin' who's the girl who has her own talk show now? Super.
Super One. Lily.
Lily Singh.
Lily Singh. Yeah. They represent her and like the Good Mythical Morning people. Anyway, they have big clients. I'm not one of them, but it is a very structured thing, and there is a plan that you have to put in place. You have to, and I've turned down, I don't want to say I've turned down as much money as I've made this year, but it's probably close if you add everything up that I said no to because it was too low. And just count in and then count up what I actually did. But the whole thing is, like, you have to set that number. You have to use the metrics that you can use to say, this is what I'm worth. Yes, it's flexible. Yes, we can talk about different ways that we can make it happen. But over the course of the year, like, my numbers are slowly growing to where, it's a little bit more and a little bit more consistently. Mm-hmm. But if you just, like, if you do a job, and this is for anybody, if you do a job for somebody for $1,000, and then you turn around and do the same job for somebody else for $500, like, eventually that's going to catch up to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to catch up to you, and people are going to be like, well, why are you charging me $1,000? You did it for them for $500. So it has to be like, this is what it costs to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's basically, it's hard to do though, because from a creator standpoint, like, you don't have a good view on, like, you can't really effectively think about your value objectively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you hear these numbers, and I've heard numbers from people talking to people about what I should be making, that are a lot more than what I am making.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather, like, go slowly and build up to that place and do things that I'm comfortable with than sort of, like, push the envelope.
Yeah, but it's up to you to walk. You got to walk your own path, man. And you're sort of you know, we people have laid out a structure. You know, there's other creators, especially people who've been in the game a lot longer than us, who can sort of point us in the right direction. But considering that this market and the way that this all works continues to evolve, even like to this day, we're sort of, it's almost like you're a constant pioneer. And even the people who are coming up after us are going to be pioneering it themselves because it's continuously changing.
Right.
So I think if you're taking your time and moving slowly and moving methodically the way you want to do it is probably the best way. Because sometimes you can be overly aggressive and it could not work out. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think it's smart to be patient and just kind of move.
Yeah, I was full disclosure, and I'm not gonna name, like, I'm not going to get into specifics, but the back and forth between me and Pataka, it's over the course of 43 emails, and it probably should have been half of that. But for them, like, they've never done a paid sponsorship with someone. I went to them, and so we're both like, to be completely clear, they're only my third paid sponsorship ever. Earlier this year was my second with Ballistic. So like, we were both we're both learning, right? So, and yes, there were times where I got the email and I went, oh, I already explained this, and then I went, took a deep breath, laid it all back out, gave them the details. I was very clear. I didn't allude. I was very clear about this, but not this. And they came back and they said this, but this, and I said, no, I said this. Right. So like you said, the patience is a virtue, and it worked out really well, and I'm very excited about working with them.
I want to address something that just came up in the chat.
Sure.
HH4560 says, I don't trust any of you reviewers except for Flossie Carter and Andrew Mark. You guys are all in for $1, easily swayed by $1. And that is so untrue.
Yep.
I mean, everybody who does YouTube at a high level is making money. So don't think that Flossie Carter is like out there just as the freaking the dude who's like doing this all on it. I mean, he's a great guy and he does really well, but he's making his money and he's doing his thing. And everybody, like, who are you to think that if I'm doing this thing and I'm doing it well enough to the point where I have enough people watching, that time dictates that it makes sense for me to spend more time on it, then who are you to tell me that I can't make money on it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But it's all good. I'm going to screenshot this comment and show it to Flossie while we're having drinks next week.
Oh, dude, totally.
Yeah. Because
so, all that trust and all that hate, dude, you know how many Flossie Carter comments I get on my channel because I review headphones and I review some of the similar stuff. Come on, man. Check this out. Floss is cool with all of us.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know what you're trying to defend here, because you're barking up the wrong tree.
He's DM'd me through Instagram. I have his number. I'm on the menu to go hang with him and Max, and so is Jeff, and so I'm doing the wrong way. So is Jeff, and so is this one over here, Jason. Yes. No, go whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, it's hard to say what the AdSense is. It could be $10,000, like Ace says here. It could be. I mean, basically, if you get like 1.5 million views per month, and those views have the right CPM, then you can make $10,000. I had a video, my video that went to 1.3 million made me $10,000.
So to put things in perspective with my channel, I've spent well over $10,000 in tech this year. Definitely. In total, I've made back maybe 3,000 of that. That's through Ballistic sponsorship that I did with a couple other mini sponsorships and AdSense.
Yeah.
So you tell me who's in it for the buck.
Yeah. Dude, that's all it is.
There are easier ways to make a lot of money.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's the thing, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is the fact that for the first few years, you have to put in much more time. So the first few years as a channel, it's more about making an investment and making these deposits of not only time, effort, content, and value to the people that are watching your videos.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you will start to reap some of what you've sown. And if you've been doing right, you've been putting in good value, right? So the first, year and a half, almost 2 years, I've been doing this almost 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't really earning much, nowhere near what I was putting into it.
Right.
So now, thankfully, I'm in a position to where I've got enough companies that are lining up to send me stuff that I don't have to spend the money on that stuff any longer.
Yep.
So, and also I have a community who steps up, who puts their money where their mouth is when I say, hey, this is good. This is, I'm putting my reputation, I'm putting my name on their money, and they step up for it. It's all good. I benefit, they benefit, and it's a win-win for everybody, because I'm not selling you some BS. I'm not going to tell you that these crappy headphones are good. Go buy them. And now I've got to stand by it. My name is on that. So, that's what I'm not going to do. And that's why I've done negative videos, and that's why I do positive videos. And I try to do more positive than negative because of the time. But man, I mean, people just, they just don't get it, man.
I think HH4560, whatever his real name is, because he won't use his real name.
Yeah.
What are you smoking here? Like, he says here, go put that on the screen if you want, Jason. So true. I don't expect you guys to do content for free, but the sponsored content and constant flip flopping on products isn't trustworthy. Who might have judged you guys? Judged Lou? Okay, so when did we judge Lou, and what flip flopping?
That's all about me. That's all about me.
Okay,
yeah,
but
come on, man. Jason's got haters.
Yeah, instead of saying I like this even though I changed my mind, instead of staying with you hate this or you don't like this.
Yeah, so like a normal human being, you change your mind. How dare you, Jason?
I don't have to. I don't have to make videos that say I changed my mind.
Yeah,
I don't have to make those videos. They make my life a whole lot more difficult.
Yeah,
but I make them because it's for real.
Yeah,
like that's part of my process. Did I do everything 100% the way that I would do it now? No, but you're learning. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to honor Burger Bacon Fingers $25 super chat to get off this topic.
Yep.
And move on to something better. Like, what are we looking forward to in the new year? Okay, let's do 2 things. New Year's resolution for your YouTube tech, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you really looking forward to, either a tech that's coming out or something that's coming out and happening this year? Start with you, Zach.
So for myself, both personally, mentally, physically, it's like I said in the earlier, my thing is to more stay on target. So I'm finally in a place where I'm doing 2 to 3 videos a week, but I want to be more consistent with that. So I've been consistent for the last 3 weeks with my coffee with Zach on Sundays. I'm going to keep on doing that live stream, which immediately goes to unlisted because I want to be able to do something on the main channel and to kind of build up and just talk to people. So that's going to be the inconsistency for that. And then I have to pick 2 or 3 other days I'll be dropping videos. I don't know what days it'll be. I have to look at my analytics and everything. So for that, that's about staying on target. And in terms of mental and physically, the health weight loss stuff, as you know, earlier this year, 408, now 344. The goal is 260. I am if anybody's interested in that, I am documenting my journey and everything. I was kind of doing a recap of the last year over on my Instagram, Zach Talks Health. So ZAK Talks Health. So it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be anything beautiful like you guys normally see on Instagram. It's very real. It's very to the point. I'm a complete glass door. Like you can see everything. Like the other day, I posted a picture of myself with my hernia belt on. I've never shown anybody else that. Now, to be truthful, I've only got it like a few weeks ago, but it's one of the best things ever. It's one of the best pieces of tech that I've bought this year. I know it sounds silly.
I believe it. I believe it.
So, and if you don't know what a hernia belt is, you can find out. But anyway, I'm documenting that for myself, to keep myself accountable, because I want to be able to look back. Right. And then in terms of tech, I'm going to be looking at a lot of wearables and a lot of health type stuff while I'm at CES. I'm hoping to finally see a company. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a Samsung or if you're a nobody. I want to see graphene batteries hit the market this year in mainstream devices and devices that I can buy easily. I want to see this technology being used. That's the one thing I'm looking for. Foldables and everything like that are cool. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing the Razor. I know that you're not, but graphene batteries would be the one thing I'm really looking forward to hopefully hitting the mainstream.
Yeah.
So those are my goals. Those are kind of in a general what I'm doing. And you know, I've said this a million times before, but I have you guys really to thank for a lot of things this year. And you know, especially Jeff and Jason and everything. You guys have always been in my corner, both privately and publicly and everything like that. And I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. How about you, Jeff?
Mine's not that deep, man.
Sure it is. Good, give it, man.
So mostly, I mean, for tech wise, I mean, it's things from 2017 to 2018 got really much better. 2018, 2019 much better. 2019 has been amazing when it comes to the tech that I review. You know, with headphones, the way Bluetooth technology is moving forward, the way that wireless technology, battery life increasing, which graphene could really help even more if they got that going. But I think 2020 is going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to the things I'm going to see at CES. But I think, you know, we're going to get more, at least I believe, we're going to start getting much better battery life out of the stuff that I like, the Bluetooth headphones and smartwatches and stuff. I think we're going to see more increases in battery life. Hopefully we do get that extra battery tech. It'd be nice to see, but it's overall getting much better. You know, what did we see 2019? We started seeing the first true wireless with active noise cancellation. You know, the AirPods Pro came out, the Sony came out with those. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. So that's going to be really nice. We're going to start seeing more studio quality stuff. Drop is getting together with THX to put out what's supposed to be the next level of Bluetooth headphones with actual hi-fi sound quality, like THX amps in the headphones. So I don't know if you heard about those, Jason, but they're going to be coming out sometime late January, early February from Massdrop. And I'm like, they're called the Panda, something like that.
Oh, cool.
I'll have to get in touch with my boy Michael over there and find out.
Yeah. Talk to Mike, man, because they're having an event in San Francisco, which I'm gonna attend so I can get like a first glimpse and stuff. But man, it's like I'm saying, stuff is really moving forward, and I'm really excited about it because I'm hoping, I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, Jason, but I'm hoping that at some point we can get the sound quality to sound at least that much closer to getting wired performance out of wireless stuff. And it's getting better. It's getting better, but we're not quite there yet.
Doesn't the Bluetooth technology, Bluetooth antennas in general, need to improve or something like that?
It's just a matter of bandwidth.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, what can pass, the bandwidth that can pass through a cable is like, it's like a 10-lane superhighway compared to like a 2-lane dirt road.
Right.
With Bluetooth, and they can do a lot with the compression algorithms and all that kind of different stuff to make it sound better. But like a lot of that work is happening on the back end. They're taking stuff that has to degrade to get where it's going.
Okay.
Right.
Really quick, we had a $4.99 super chat from Alex again, and he says, "I want to see this." It's already disappeared off there, but he says here, "I want mobile VR to really take off in 2020."
Right.
Like, okay, so like not at home, but mobile, right? So
yeah. So yeah, it's getting there. Like I said, that's and Jason is exactly what it is, because they have to balance out connection stability with quality of audio. And I think we're just gonna keep moving forward. And I'm hoping that this year we start really, really getting there, because I'll go back, like right now, I'll listen to some of my latest stuff and I'll compare it to the stuff that I was reviewing in 2017. And I'm like, wow, the difference is so huge. And I'm like,
I need to do that.
No, it's a real deal. So like I've like those headphones that I reviewed, they were like $40. The Soundcores, the Q10s, $40.
Yeah.
I'm 99.9% sure that they are better than what I've been calling the top headphone for under $100 for $40.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like 99% sure. So I just got to do a little bit more testing. But man, it's like we're moving so far forward that it's getting there, but it's just not all the way there. I don't know if it's going to be like Bluetooth 6 that's going to bring this, or if we get something better than LDAC, but we're
I don't know. I mean, I like what Apple's dedicated chips are like going they're going in the direction that it needs to go in terms of like the onboard processing has to be there. And I mean, I'm not a Bluetooth engineer or anything, but there are hurdles that have to be cleared. But yeah, I mean, the AirPods Pro I mean, even though I know, and you know, I think Luke said this too about the Liberty Pros. Even though I know that wired headphones sound better,
Mhm.
the AirPods Pro do a really good job of sounding really good.
Yeah. I like that they adapt to the music that you're listening to. That to me is a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't tried the Neurophones.
Yeah.
I want to try the Neurophones.
Yeah.
And now it's a subscription.
Yeah.
It's like $20 a month and you get like those headphones. And I just want to try it. I mean, it can't be that good if it hasn't like blown up like crazy already, but
it's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to drop their earbuds. So those are the ones I'm waiting for, the Neurobuds, because I tried the Neurophones and it was a very odd experience, because even though I'm comfortable with earbuds, obviously, it was just very strange to having the headphone and the thing poking into your ear at the same time. It was a very strange experience for me, and I never felt comfortable while wearing them. But from what I'm hearing, the hype around the Neurobuds, that I'm interested in, even though they still won't, they still don't respond to your boy El Jefe for reviews. But it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to seeing what that comes down, because I may just go ahead and buy them to try them out.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the subscription to the Neurophones just to try it out.
I hope they have the buds to that subscription. That'd be worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I saw? You know what I saw earlier today? I was watching CNN. I saw a commercial for Raycons.
Oh yeah, dude, they're everywhere.
Like what? On CNN?
Guess who else won't talk to me?
Oh really?
But they advertise on all my videos.
Are they? You know who's been playing video commercials before my videos lately? Portal.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Facebook Portal. It's the ones with Kim Kardashian, which I think is awesome, because I kind of I want to say I use her, but I always have, whenever I say the word "but," I always have a picture of her come up.
Yeah, man. That's true. I have to agree with Luke too, though, man. I think Jason should try the Liberty 2 Pros if he.
I need to try these. You guys keep on talking about these Liberty things.
I've got them in the cart on the Amazon. So
they're really good. It's been hit or miss for some people, because like even Luke, I believe had an issue with they had a weird, strange white noise hissing issue on certain models. I didn't get that, and I had the initial first batch. Like I pre-ordered them, so I got them $100 when they first announced them, and like, oh yeah, we're gonna have these released in October. You can pre-order them. I was like, pre-order, because they weren't responding to my emails anyway, so I couldn't get a review sample.
Okay, so the Liberty Air 2 wireless?
No. Liberty 2 Pro.
These are anchors, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I actually, they sent me way back in the day the very first Liberties.
Oh, the Zolos? Yeah, those things were like 2017. Yeah, those things were dope.
Yeah. And
they're not available in Canada.
They were really cool. They were really cool, and they sounded pretty good. But it was back in the days, but when like one earbud would like disconnect from the other one.
Yeah, dude.
And there was nothing like it would bother me so much, like because I would just mess up my equilibrium. Like,
no, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, Anchor has really like spent a lot of time putting a lot of work into making their headphones really good.
Yeah. And this is their third generation now. Technically, everybody calls it the second gen Liberty. But it's actually the third generation of their audio products. And this third wave, good Lord, every one of them, every price point, 50, 70, 100, 150, all of them have just cleared the market. I'm like, I don't know how they pulled it off. So it's, they were ridiculous, dude.
What's the US pricing on them?
They were MSRP 150 on sale. You can get them for like 109 when they go on sale.
So right now they're 149 Canadian. So they're actually the same. They're the same looking price. Not obviously 149 Canadian, 149 US. It says here 25% off. So Anchor, Soundcore, Liberty 2 Pro. 2 Pro wireless here. But yeah, these look cool.
All right, so I'm going to address Franklin's comment there about the AirPods Pro. So Franklin says AirPods Pro are limited by the fact that they support AAC, which is the fourth best Bluetooth audio codec. So sometimes things just add up to be more than what they should be. And I don't know why it is or what it is. Now, I've been totally honest about the original AirPods. I mean, I'm honest about everything as much as I possibly can be. And the AirPods Pro have really impressed the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of flabbergasted by it.
Yeah,
Even a couple of months in. And the thing is, like, and I saw somebody else talking about how like they've got a Tidal subscription and they don't benefit from the AirPods Pro. I will say, most definitely, if you're listening to like a 360 megabit per second MP3, and then you're listening to to FLAC quality Tidal, like you're gonna hear a difference.
Yep.
Either I mean, and don't take this the wrong way. It's a lot of times it's like your ears have to learn what to listen for. You know what I mean? And eventually, like eventually you just develop that over the years.
Jeff, do you have an Amazon.ca?
I don't. I got the boot, man.
You got kicked off there?
Yep.
Why?
Amazon totally?
Because Canadians don't. No.
Oh.
Because Canadians don't use my links. You have to make a certain minimum, and Canadians don't use my links. So,
I mean, the majority of my traffic comes to the Amazon.com.
Yeah.
I get a little bit in Canada, but only like 8% of my audience is Canadian, which is ironic.
Yeah, surprisingly, I got more from UK than Canada. I was like, what?
Now, I would normally use your link I have before with the other sound.
Yeah, no, of course. It's all good.
In this case, it's the same price up here. Actually, technically it's cheaper for you because it's 149 Canadian, also 149 US. So when you do the exchange rate, whatever. Anyway, point is that if I order them now, like it says right here, I can get them on Thursday. In other words, I'll have earbuds for Vegas.
Nice.
So done. I hope that answers Beth's question. I wasn't trying to put you on blast there, Beth, but that's just the realities of it.
All right, I agree with Jason. I think you do have to learn this stuff because I know for me, it's been a journey. And now it's like right now, look what I'm wearing, right? These are, Jason knows these. These are the HD6XX.
Yes.
The resolution on these is ridiculous. When I have them connected to my THX amp, good God Almighty.
Yeah, it's great.
And you compare that to like Bluetooth, and you're like, what am I doing? So you do have to kind of learn it. And with the AirPods Pro, if you have a good like a Tidal subscription or Cobus or one of the other ones that has really high resolution files, you will benefit from it if you're listening to hi-fi or master quality. You can hear the difference because when I test it out, I test out everything with both YouTube Music, with Spotify as well, and then with Tidal, and stuff sounds so much better when you have the right quality of file. Right. So it's a huge difference. I know some people can't hear it, and that's okay. That's okay, but
I look at it this way. Like one of the things that I had to learn over the years, and it's true with music too. Like if you're a musician, like some people have perfect pitch. Some people are naturally have something called relative pitch. Other people can develop relative pitch. So perfect pitch is like you hear a note played and you can say what it is. There's this guy, Rick Beato, who has a son who's like 12 years old, and he can like take 10 note chords and tell you every single note. That's how perfect his pitch is. But relative pitch is where you learn over time that what one note sounds like against another, what one chord sounds like against another, and so you are relatively in the ballpark of like what you're hearing. So like when I hear a song, especially if I hear a song on like a guitar song, I can tell you 9 times out of 10 exactly what the chord progression is with just by listening to it.
Yeah.
So
ear sommelier.
It's the same thing though with listening to audio for pleasure. Eventually that's the plan. You have your ears tuned to a place but you have to get the good headphones first. That's what I found. Like if you're sort of working your way up, you don't really notice it. But then when you get to something like an HD6XX or an HD600 or HD650, and then you go back, you're like, oh.
Yeah. What I equate it to is one of the things I'm going to mention it to make it easy for people who are not an audiophile is it's basically like now I'm watching TV in 4K on HDR and then going back to watching TV in like 720.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
And the resolution, because it's like you hear so much more detail, so much more clarity, and it's such a huge difference that I was shocked the first time. And then now when I go back to test other stuff, so now I use these as reference. So this is the reference point. This is where I benchmark it, and everything else is under that, going to this level. And it's a big difference, and that's the best way I can put it to people, because they tell me like, oh man, is it really worth investing 300 in headphones and another 300 in an amp and another 200 in a DAC and like all this that. And I'm like, it is, if you want to experience something better, if you really want to hear your songs, or even almost it's like you're hearing your favorite music for the first time again, which is the weirdest thing to say, but it's true. Because there was like, when I first put the THX amp with the new DAC, and then I put these on, and I started listening to some of the songs I've been listening to for the longest time, even on my test playlist. And I almost had a tear in my eye because I was hearing detail that I never heard before. And I'm not exaggerating that. It's not an exaggeration, because if you love music to a certain level to where you're willing to test it out and do this on a nightly basis, that's the sort of emotion that you can get from this kind of thing. And it's the real deal. So, and that's, is it worth it? I let people try it out. Like, here, try this out, see what you think. You know what I mean? And I don't even have the greatest audio file set up. Mine's maybe like, I don't know, 1,000 altogether. So, and it's not comparatively to what people spend 2,000 on just an amp, or 5,000 on just headphones. It's not even all that. So, and it's to me, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, okay, I've been listening to the Beatles for roughly 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And really like digging into that stuff.
Yeah.
Like really paying attention. For all the years that I've listened to it, it mattered a lot to me. I paid attention. I learned every nook and cranny of it. But I can still put on a great set of headphones and the new Abbey Road remix.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, man, I hear things that I never heard before.
Yeah.
And then when you hear it in a less perfect situation, you still hear that stuff.
Yeah. You now know it's there.
Yeah, because you know it's there. But before that, you just didn't know it was there. And so I have that emotional experience as well whenever I have that kind of thing happen with music. And so like I don't like to describe myself as an audiophile. I think that's, if you call yourself an audiophile, it's sort of like, I don't know, like, I think other people should call you an audiophile.
Yeah.
As opposed to you saying that that's what you are.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I care a lot about sound. Yeah. And I enjoy sound a lot. And I think if you're somebody who cares a lot about sound and enjoys sound a lot, then headphones are one way that you can really try out a lot of different stuff. And, that for relatively not too big an investment, right? Like if you want to try out really amazing speakers that are $2,000 a pair, and you need like the $1,500 amp that powers them, like your ability to check out multiple sets of speakers is not going to be all that great. So, but with headphones, like you can go cheap and you can find great headphones that don't cost a lot of money. You can find like the 650s or the 600s that just sound, there's something special about how they sound. That's one thing that I loved about I've always loved about headphones. And you kind of made me think about this. The fact that headphones have gotten so much better in the last like 4 to 5 years. It used to be that the players in the headphone game were Grotto, Sennheiser, Audio-Technica to a certain extent. Like the big names were the people who were the players.
Yeah.
And then like Hi-Fi Man came in with planar magnetic headphones, and all of a sudden there's just all of this different stuff that's happening all over the place.
Now, man, I'm loving it.
And it's like it's a totally different market. Today when I did a Amazon stream with Travis, and the most searched for thing that brings people to my channel. This is bizarre. The Turtle Beach Stealth 600 wireless headphones are the number one thing that brings people to my channel.
That's crazy.
And I reviewed that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it made me think about the fact that when I first started doing YouTube, it was because gaming headsets were so terrible.
Yeah.
That I just had to rant about it.
Yeah.
And I went out and bought as many as I could, trying to find ones that weren't terrible.
Yeah.
But now, like, and Turtle Beach were some of the worst offenders of terrible. But now, Turtle Beach, the Stealth 600 is like a really nice midpoint for, you know, if you want a decent sounding gaming headset that's wireless, that's $100 or less, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And you know, in order to get good wireless gaming headsets in the past, it was $300.
Yeah.
That was the entry point.
Yeah, so it's good. That's the beauty of the technology moving forward, is that everything's getting cheaper, because the stuff that we're even seeing like now, when I did this top list of true wireless earbuds under 60, this is the quality of that stuff was 150 a year ago. Yeah. And now we're starting to see stuff under $30 that are better than some of the stuff that was $50. I'm like, oh my God. So it keeps getting better. It's like, you know, they'll cut some bells and whistles. Like maybe we won't get USB Type-C, maybe we won't get wireless charging, but they're putting all the money and R&D into the sound quality. That's what I'm talking about. So you're giving me great connection. You're giving me 8+ hours of battery and some serious sound quality. I'm good with micro USB and wireless and no wireless charging at that point. I'm okay with that. Yeah, you know, because if it sounds good, it works. And we're moving forward into 2020. And that's why I keep telling people, like on my own live streams, is how excited I am for this year and how excited I am for CES. Because especially some of the products that are coming out, like one more stuff that's about to come out and be announced next week.
They're expecting me to drop by their booth. I don't know anything about them, but they're like, hey, come on by. And I'm like, if you got food, I'll be there.
You know, seriously, come by, because we're trying to see about getting a creator meetup there.
That would be cool. Yeah. So you and I've got that chat going on. Let's definitely. Okay. So I set that up tonight. I'm just going to say it now. Like, look, there's no excuse for us three, definitely us three, not getting together.
Yeah. No, of course. No, sure.
And by the way,
both of you guys need to come by, man. Jason, you got to check out their new stuff.
Yeah, I really want to. You know, like I said, I'm excited to go to CES because, like, I know there's going to be stuff that I can't even think of right now. That's going to be like the coolest thing I'm going to see.
I'll tell you this right now. Since this is your guys' first time, I know everybody's telling you this and that. You will get samples and you will get stuff. I'm not talking about swag, like the cheap stuff. I'm talking about like legitimate samples. Anything bigger than a shoebox, politely ask them to ship it to you. Okay. Yeah. But do yourself a favor, pack light, and if you can, bring a bag that you'll have everything in. Like, I'm going to bring like my regular size suitcase, but I don't need that size for that many days. But I'm bringing it because I know I'll be getting stuff.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, I heard the same thing from a few people.
Yeah.
I basically, I always pack like one bag and that's it.
Yeah.
So literally anything that I get will go to like FedEx or UPS and get shipped back to my house.
Yeah. And you know, if you wear a backpack during the day, like I'm going to be, I'll have my MacBook in there, which is light enough. And then basically I'm going to have my vlogging setup, which is collapses down, but leave enough room in that backpack to put energy bars. So ones that have actual protein that are actually good for you, not full of sugar, and have bottled water. Because the food and the water costs and the food costs at the Las Vegas Convention Center and the Sands Resort, which is where all the Kickstarter stuff is, and Pataco will also be there, hashtag sponsored, costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the convention center most of the time because that's where my sponsor's at. So that's where we're going to be.
Who's your sponsor? Can you name or no?
No, I can't. They haven't announced anything, but I'm going to be there with one more.
Good for you. Yeah. Cool. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Of all the companies that I would have wanted to kind of go with, that's like one of my top choices because they've been doing high-end audio at mid-range prices.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to checking their stuff out because I haven't heard it yet.
Oh yeah, it's good. Their wired stuff is it's like really good. Like a triple driver wired earbuds. Oh my Lord.
Jeff, if you have a specific day or time that you're going to be there, I think that's a good time to maybe set up our meetup and everything like that. So let me know, please.
Oh yeah, I've got to talk to I got to talk to Keith and stuff, and we're going to see about trying to get it all set up. So
cool. No, I have Tuesday and Wednesday definitely scheduled to be at the LVCC. Thursday is for the Sands. And by the way, guys, I think I've mentioned this before, but make sure you guys do go to the Sands Resort, which is where Eureka Park is as well. So Eureka Park is on the lower level of the Sands.
Yeah.
That's where all the startup and Kickstarter stuff is.
Nice.
Like Pataka's gonna be there. There's a few other brands as well. Taplock, you guys know Taplock.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of brands that we know that would be there. I think Deity is also supposed to be there.
Yeah, dude, Andrew from Deity is cool. That's my dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be using a Deity mic while I'm there.
That's what I'm using too.
Yeah, my setup is gonna be similar to yours because I'm like, I don't want to bring the Canon. I'm not a photographer, videographer. I don't know how to adjust my settings based on environmental conditions.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd rather let the iPhone do the work.
I have my A6500 here with the Rode mic on it. I'm just like, stay. I raise the desk, I turn it on, and I turn it up. That's it. Okay. I can get great footage, especially like I've proved it with my interviews, stuff like that. It doesn't matter the lighting conditions with an iPhone. And at the end of the day, it's about the content.
Yeah, so that's what it comes down to, man.
Yeah.
I first want to just say to Jake Wilson 7, thank you for the five English pound super chat. And no, the Note 10 Plus, not a mistake.
Yeah, well, why would that be a mistake? It's an awesome phone, man.
It is an awesome phone. I mean, you know, when you hear me or other people who talk about this stuff talk about phones, I mean, we're talking about like every phone compared to every phone. But like for an individual like yourself, you know, the Note 10 is an amazing piece of technology. I don't think we say that enough. But like, you know, outside of all the navel gazing of all the you know, all the stuff that we talk about, all of these phones are incredible.
Yeah.
They're incredible pieces of technology, and compared to what they were 10 years ago.
Oh,
look what I'm bringing, Jeff.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So no, I you know, I wish that I could have a Note 10 and a V50 and an iPhone and everything else. I'm just not in the place where I can keep, you know, $10,000 worth of phones.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. I'm the same way because I actually gave up my S10 Plus because of the Pixel 3a XL. It taught me that I don't need that much phone.
If there's any Canadians watching, I'm just gonna plug it. I'm not gonna ship it to the United States because of the cost. But if anybody's looking for a 15-day used Pixel 4 XL white, 825 Canadian, which is like $100 less than it is on there, includes 4 cases, including from Nomad, Blue Element, a couple other big brands out there, and Moment. Hit me up.
Hey, we could hold it for you on consignment.
If
if you want, I'll offer, man. If you get a sale out of it, then I can ship it out for you to somebody in the States.
I never thought about that. I guess I could ship it while I'm down there. But I mean, I have no use for. I like the phone, but I like my Note. I like my iPhone, and I might as well get it to somebody that can use it now.
Yeah, if you have no use for it, what is it doing?
And the way that the Androids, you know, lose value right away, I might as well sell it now, right? So.
Yeah. Hey, dudes, I gotta get going because we got to do dinner over here.
We're gonna wrap it up here too, pretty quickly. If you gotta go now, thank you for being here, Jeff.
No doubt, dude. Hey, you guys have a happy New Year's, and dude, I'm excited, man. I'm getting there Sunday, and I'm excited to meet up with you guys. And then Monday night for sure. I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna clear my schedule to get with Max Lee and Zach and everybody. So that
rush hour.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool, man. I'm not a heavy drinker because I have to be cool and careful, and I'm there to do a lot of stuff. But it's still going to be a good time, man.
I'm not a heavy drinker because I'm an alcoholic.
That's right.
So,
that's right, man.
So
we'll be the ones who have to watch over everybody.
And I was on D Nimmons' stream on Sunday morning.
I missed that. I missed. I was sleeping.
And you know, I just saw that he was on, and he's like, "Hey, come on!" So I went on, and like it was me and D and this guy who does like van life stuff. And this dude who has like a whiskey channel. Yeah,
you're talking about Eric. Eric was here in the chat. Yeah,
Eric.
Yeah. That's Eric. He's actually local to me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and I was just like, oh yeah, I never thought of like, really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Yeah.
But shout out to Bandrew, man, podcastage. How are you liking the audio, man? I'm using this Samson mic now, and I'm freaking loving it. So
sounds a little better when you get closer to it.
Well, see, I got to get all the way over here. So
You got to get that proximity effect, baby.
Yeah, well, that and I didn't turn the virtual soundboard on because I didn't want to set. I wanted to do it as quickly as possible to get going, so I didn't turn everything on. But all right, dudes, I gotta go. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, man. See you next week.
See you.
Yeah, later. But yeah, I mean, wrapping up here for us. I mean, I guess it's my turn to say what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to?
Personally and professionally, you know, like for the YouTube channel, I mean, 2019 was a weird year because on one hand, like I quit, I somehow for some reason felt comfortable and confident enough to quit my real job. And that was a huge step. But then also like it's just felt sort of like up and down as well. So I think I want to come into 2020 just with now that I've gone through half a year as a full-time YouTuber and all that stuff, just like balancing this stuff out, getting my feet set under me and getting really comfortable with that being the thing that I do. In terms of tech, I know that like the thing I'm most impressed with is not, I mean, maybe I'll see it at CES, but I don't know what it is yet. I am kind of, I always get this. I'm looking forward to see if Apple will pull the trigger and do something like no notch.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be at CES this year officially. In years past, they never have, but I don't know if they have a booth, but I know they're doing a couple keynotes. I don't know if they have a booth or not.
Sharing the keynote with with Miss Trump. But yeah, Burger Bacon Fingers, thank you, man. Thanks for the super chat too. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't say often enough how grateful I am to have a community of people like yourself, Zach, like the folks who show up, you know, and hang out with us. The folks who watch the videos, like it's one of those things where it's like it's hard for me to really see it for how big and special it is. But it is.
It is, yeah.
And so I just want everybody to know, everybody who's out there listening tonight, and you know, for anybody who watches the videos, whatever, like it really means a lot to me that people have come to this channel and wanted to stay and wanted to have conversations and wanted to hear what I had to say and that kind of thing. Is humbling, and it's also very flattering. And you know, sometimes I can't see it because I'm right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But you know, times like this, the end of the year, take a step back, say, wow, you know, I hit 175,000 subscribers this year.
Amazing, man. Good
And yeah, it's pretty incredible. I've supported myself for half a year on YouTube money.
Next year, 2020 is the first full year. I'm here in your corner. Everybody else that's watching and listening is here in your corner, just through a simple subscription. I appreciate it. Anything, you know, just showing up and be a part of the community is really awesome. In whatever way you do that, I appreciate it. Even the people who give me crap, you know, even the trolls. The trolls have a place in the PHT community. You know, sometimes people just need to vent, and that's just their thing, and they don't have a way. I've actually had some really good conversations out of certain comments that have turned, like, initially were like, whoa, right? Yeah. And it's actually turned to good things. Those are some of the best conversations you'll have. You've had some of them in your chats where it's
absolutely.
Initially it was like, and then it's like, okay, now we understand each other. Yeah. Thank you, Jake. That's good, right? There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. There's nothing wrong with criticism. It's just the way you deliver it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the real issues with how we talk about things that we talk about, is, you know, it's not a binary, like, right or wrong thing. And if people can get beyond that and have that conversation, then it makes a big difference. I mean, you know, like when Trenton made that video and, you know, sort of made me see certain things about what was going on with me at the time, not just in terms of what I was doing with YouTube, but in my personal life and everything else. I think that turned out to be a really positive situation, really positive conversation came out of it. You know, so it can all be good that way.
But yeah, you guys have all been fantastic. 2020, it's such a nice round sounding year. I'm looking forward to whatever's coming. So anyway, it's time to go. I got to play some Battlefield.
I've got a bad movie to watch with the wife. Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii. You can watch along with Zach if you really. I'll check out Chris Rea. I will. Thanks, Luke.
Oh no, what?
Chris Rea Luke's giving me a music suggestion. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, I mean, Happy New Year to everyone wherever you are. It might already be New Year's. Like Jake, if you're in the UK, then it's already New Year's. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for the super chats. Thank you everybody for being here, for watching, for all the things that you do. Really do appreciate it. Once again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. The tech so honest it hurts. This is a podcast, right? Until the next time, we're out.